Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With nonstop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation by offering comfortable and spacious cabins. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive. Most of you aren't just listening right now. You're driving, cleaning, and even exercising. But what if you could be saving money by switching to Progressive? Drivers who save by switching save nearly $750 on average. And auto customers qualify for an average of 7 discounts. Multitask right now. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $744 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Discounts not available in all states and situations.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth. For a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, you ever wonder why people have pets? Like in the U.S. alone, about 87 million households have at least one pet. Frankly, I have 2. And the reasons given for having pets include companionship, emotional support, security, stress reduction, etc. Unless you have a pet raccoon, like Miles said. We go to Ohio, where a woman was pulled over for driving on a suspended license. Well, the officers were surprised to see the woman's pet raccoon, Chewy, in the front seat. But they were even more surprised that Chewy had a meth pipe in his mouth. Looked like he was trying to smoke the thing. Now, police quickly deducted that the meth pipe did not belong to Chewy, but instead belonged to the woman that they pulled over, and she was charged accordingly. Meanwhile, a woman got into an argument with her roommate about her roommate's cat. This is down in Texas. I don't know what the argument was about, but she was stabbed 28 times as a result. And those are just stories about pets. Earlier this week, Florida, they recorded their first fatal bear attack in its history when a black bear killed both a man and the man's dog. Well, guess what? The next day, a kayaker in Florida was killed when an alligator snatched her out of the boat. Didn't even eat her. Just kind of killed her and then left her floating in the water. And by the way, neither the bear nor the gator have been found. Now, animal news is all over the place because, well, animals are animals. Like a woman in Switzerland. She's in court for feeding her neighbor's cat. Apparently, that's illegal there. Sea lions, they've been attacking people in California. And a woman in Michigan, she called for help after she bought 2 pet rabbits. Now she has 65 of them because rabbits live up to the saying about doing things like rabbits. And this happened in less than a year. So today we're talking animals. They can be cute, they can be tasty, but they are animals. So today's question, brought to you by our friends at Advanced Hair Restoration, is big or small, pet or not? What is your best story involving an animal?
To be a part of the Big Show, call 206-803-ROCK. Like KISW on Facebook, follow us on X and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With nonstop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several European cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation and make it even more memorable by offering comfortable and spacious cabins where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate, then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation. Trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you, committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today. And live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Man, that was easy.
Bulldog Rotary Hammer!
Hello?
It is I, He-Man, your inner Bosch.
Inner...
Bosch!
I'm sorry, what?
That powerful feeling you get when you can powerfully blast through concrete. Say it with me.
What, like right now?
Yes! We have the power!
The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a...
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Well, Macholas, away we go. Welcome to the 20th anniversary season, episode number 4,313. What a large and a charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat coming up at 4:30. The exciting return of Who Sucks Less. Steve, I don't know how you do it. You find people doing stupid crap in the news every week, and you put three stories against each other. It's up to us to figure out of the three, which one sucks the least. Is there a theme to this week's Who Sucks Less?
No, man, there's no real theme. You know, we cover the board here. Like, every once in a while you got to pee, you're not home. Just be more selective about where you choose to urinate. Leave Santa's reindeer alone. And maybe redefine what you would call a prank, particularly when you have to speak to the police.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Who Sucks Less coming up at 4:30. And today on our question, we're going to talk about animals, big or small, pet or not. What is the best story involving an animal? And I did get a chance finally, Ted, to check out that video that you said. Have you seen the video on this one? No, I read the story, didn't look at the video, and watched the video, and I'm like, man, this is probably, in my mind, the best story that we've gotten all day. You know, when you go through the news and you see all the things that are happening in the world, it's things like this, for some reason, when I wake up, that bring me joy.
Yeah, of course.
They really do. As an officer in central Ohio encountered a pet raccoon while conducting a traffic stop earlier this week. Now, the animal, named Chewy, had a glass methamphetamine pipe in its mouth and was sitting in the driver's seat of the car that the officer had pulled over. Now, the owner is outside of the truck, the SUV, and as soon as the officer notes that the raccoon has got this meth pipe in its mouth, she comes over and don't let him. I don't want him to smoke that.
Yeah,
like she basically wants to take that thing, and they're like, "Man, you cannot reach.
Safety first.
You cannot reach into your car. This is evidence now." Kind of thing.
I mean, her heart was in the right place. Her head is just stupid.
She just did not seem like anyone who really cared about the fact that she was carrying drugs on her, had a bunch with her.
That did not bother her at all. She just did not want her raccoon to get contaminated with horrible meth.
But it appears as if this raccoon had smoked meth before, based on how he picks this thing up. And
picked it up by the bowl.
I don't know that he smoked. I think he's just seen her do it enough that he holds it like that.
I mean, he held it.
I don't think the raccoon can inhale and smoke meth.
I don't know.
It's because they can't light a lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The discovery led Springfield.
You really think the raccoon smokes meth?
It looks like the raccoon knows something about the act of smoking meth.
Well, it's like a little kid. When they see people drinking beers, they naturally will grab a beer bottle. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm saying the same thing. I think that raccoon has seen her do it.
This is audio of the raccoon.
Well, he knows to hold it up to his mouth.
Trust me, that kid, if there was beer in there, he'd drink. Kid would drink it. So the parents go, no, you can't do that. The Springfield police, one officer, Austin Branham, who was conducting the traffic stop to search the vehicle more thoroughly. He and the other officers found meth, crack, cocaine, 3 used methamphetamine pipes elsewhere in the car.
Do you have to switch out your pipes if you smoke meth? I'm just wondering that because I read that in the article, and I'm like, most people I know, like, if you smoke your weed out of a pipe, that is your weed pipe. A lot of people, if they have a crack pipe, will do that. I understand if you're rocking the foil, but to me, how often do I have to change out my pipe if I'm smoking meth?
I don't know.
Well, you got to switch out, like, if you don't clean your bowl,
Yeah.
It gets residue in it and gets...
But I'm just saying, in my car, because to me, whether you're smoking meth or weed or whatever you smoke, I feel like that would be kind of like your vehicle pipe. You know,
I kind of got the impression that might be her home.
You know what? Actually, based on what you saw in the front seat, you are very correct. That might be her home.
Now, Springfield,
You guys are giving way too much credit to meth heads.
I've been...
hey, man, I'm just looking for the bright side, Ted. Anything wrong with that? The eternal optimist.
I have been to
I don't
Springfield.
think there is a bright side with meth.
I've been to Springfield, Ohio. Now, this area it is something. Like when you go to a major city, you know, there's obviously a lot of nice parts, and then there's some parts that aren't so good. But Cincinnati is one of those towns. It has its moments. Most of those moments are like if you were to look at the city of Seattle, and Seattle, let's say Seattle is an S-hole. Bellevue is where everyone would live.
All right.
So Cincinnati kind of does that. You go across the river, and you're in Covington, Kentucky. And that's where typically more money is. That's where the nicer homes are. That's where the airport is, blah, 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 blah. So you get through Cincinnati and you start heading north. And then you get to Dayton, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Dayton, I mean, that's a pretty sketchy town. I mean, it has its stuff. Again, it's not... The University of Dayton is there. There's some other things there, but Dayton is
the
Dayton.
University of Dayton's only there because that's the name.
Then
they don't want to be there.
You keep going north, and the next one you hit is Springfield. Now, Springfield basically is on 70, all right? But Springfield, I have spent many weekends there. It is one of those towns where you go, wow, man.
Were you dating a chick there?
This is some messed up stuff. I mean, depends on your...
You said, look, you do not like the place at all. It is an S-hole, but you spent many a time there. My first thought is vagina.
Yeah, I did.
Right, that's it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, of course. But there's a small private school there. God, I can't remember. It's a college. It begins with a W. I can't remember the name of it. That campus is nice. You get outside of that. You go downtown to a bar, and you were like, wow, man. This is crazy.
Yeah.
And it is crazy. I mean, this story does not surprise me. When I read Springfield, Ohio, I was like, of course it's Springfield, Ohio. Matter of fact, when you go to the bar, you're the only person not in a Future Farmer of America jacket.
I can believe that.
To give you an idea. Now, the vehicle is pulled over because its registered owner had an active warrant and a suspended driver's license. The enforcement arresting officer charged the owner of the car, which is even more amazing if you see the video. This woman is 55 years old. She's my age. With drug possession and 3 counts of drug paraphernalia. Cited her for driving under suspension, blah, 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 blah.
Wittenberg, Miles.
Wittenberg. Okay, that's where she went. The raccoon was not harmed, police said.
Because it couldn't light it.
Right. And she does have the documents needed to legally own the animal.
I like that she's responsible enough to have the documents to own
but
a raccoon.
But she does not have a driver's license, nor does she have any insurance or any of that stuff.
You're not that responsible. You took the time to get the paperwork for your pet raccoon, but not for the vehicle you drive.
Not only that, in Ohio, they say people are allowed to have pet raccoons, but the process to keep them domestically is very highly regulated, and certain permits are required.
Okay.
So she had to go through all that stuff.
I guess they don't do a big background check.
Well, Ohio basically lets you have anything.
Anything. Yeah, that's one of the exotic animal places, right?
Police body camera video of the traffic stop showed Chewy emerging from the car. While our officers are trained to expect the unexpected, finding a raccoon holding a meth pipe is a first, according to the police department. Jesus.
Did you hear the 2 nicknames for the raccoon?
No, I did not.
Okay, so last night I'm watching the news, and I had not heard the story, and they throw to the video, and on the bottom of the screen, it says, Stash Panda. I'm like, all right, that's kind of funny. That's just what the news decided to put up there.
Right.
And then this morning, it has changed names. It is now a Crackoon.
A Crackoon.
A Crackoon. So Crackoon or Stash Panda.
All right. Now, yesterday we told you about the story that happened out of Naples, Florida, with the second confirmed, I believe, bear fatality in Florida. I'm not sure if it's this year or in the calendar year or whatever.
I think in history. In recorded history.
In recorded history. So they found someone who was mauled to death in Naples across from the Marco Island bridge ferry thing.
The bear ripped his naples off.
The bear killed whoever this was, right?
And his dog.
So, same day, kayaker was attacked and killed by an alligator yesterday afternoon in Lake Kissimmee State Park in Central Florida. Authorities alerted to the incident just before 4 when a witness reported an encounter with a reptile. Video from the scene showed law enforcement officials using both boats and helicopters to respond to the scene and potentially search for the animal, which probably was pretty sizable, I would guess. Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission released a statement. Indicates that a woman was canoeing. She encountered an alligator and went into the water. The woman was later recovered from the water, and she was declared deceased. They did have a alligator trapper. He was dispatched to the area to help search for the animal. But I would have to assume that this is a breaching situation.
That's what I'm assuming. I don't think she voluntarily jumped in the water.
The alligator grabbed her by the arm while she was kayaking with her arms out and yanked her ass in. But either way, that was...
It doesn't matter. Because the result is exactly the same. I would prefer it if the thing just breached and took me out.
Yeah.
Do it with the speed and the quickness. Like, don't grab my arm and give me time to think about this.
As far as I'm concerned, I think in a lot of areas of the world, you are safer being in salt water with great white sharks and bull sharks and tiger sharks and everything else than you are to honestly be in freshwater.
In Florida.
Especially when you get into warmer water.
That's what I was going to say, man. It depends. In Florida, I agree, because you got the gators. You might have, well, you definitely get the gators. You get the pythons or whatever
they have the North American crocodile.
Now bears.
Water moccasins.
Water moccasins, right.
Boas, pythons, anacondas. The
locals.
The black panthers that are down there in the Okeechobee Swamp. They got, yeah, exactly.
Me and Ted do that every time, man.
The black panthers.
Yeah.
But they do. I mean, they've got...
Wakanda forever!
But when you think about... okay.
You didn't know that, buddy?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, a lot of people from Wakanda, they relocated to the Everglades of
Florida.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you go to freshwater...
When I was a kid, my dad convinced me there was real Seminoles in there.
For real?
Yeah.
Well, I guess you're a kid, right?
I mean, when you go down to South America, if you're in Brazil, in certain rivers, they have those...
don't get in any river.
Those fish that have not
human
just
teeth.
The human teeth that have taken people's testicles clean off their body.
Well, that's what they aim for.
The piranha?
No,
this is
the
a different
piranha is like a team player, right? Piranha go, hey, buddy,
all of them get in.
There's meat in the water. Let's all go do this, and we do it with speed and quickness. That way, almost no matter size that we're going after, we'll at least get fed, right? No, these teeth, they're solo swimmers. I'm not sure how big they are, but like when they open their mouth, it looks like someone took human dentures, stuck
them in their mouth, and their jaws are
attack,
strong.
They attack your testicles.
So,
I'm looking at
see
it.
that
testicle fish.
And of course, it
That's
has
what I'm
human-looking teeth.
I would not get in the water.
No.
I would not get in freshwater in Florida. I would not get in. I mean, I would rather be in the ocean, swimming.
What about middle of the ocean? Like a ship went down.
I think you're safer. I think you're safer in the middle of the ocean than you are in fresh water in Florida.
In Florida, yeah.
I mean, I don't care. I just don't think like
from animal attack.
What if you're paddleboarding, or what if you just go in accidentally? What if you're? I mean, she was kayaking. I just think it's even if it's a pond in your neighborhood in your backyard, do not get into that water.
No.
There's snapping turtles. There's all kinds.
And you're
of
right.
crap.
The thing with the sharks is they're all over Florida.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I hate to admit it, but I love this guy on Instagram called Two Turnt Tony.
Two Turnt Tony.
Yeah, he's two turnt.
Okay.
Which means what now?
Thank you for the
He's
explanation.
just, he's turnt, man. He's partying all the time. He's two turnt.
Okay.
Right?
Too much.
But he's always shark fishing in Florida.
Oh, good.
And like just in the canals. I mean, everywhere he goes, he's catching sharks. So Miles is right.
All right.
Like those sharks are everywhere, but they don't really like I don't think the sharks really care that much to attack us.
Well,
but the freshwater, like exactly what you're saying with the gators, for me it's the snakes.
Well, I feel like everything in freshwater is also willing to eat you, right? So with the shark, 9 times out of 10, you bleed out because it bites you. And like they say, it's like giving a kid a lemon. It's not what they want. They spit you out. The problem is the laceration, so it doesn't keep coming back. A gator, it's like, oh, you're not dead yet? Let me roll you again.
Right.
You know, I mean,
also,
it gets personal with them, and they don't stop attacking until you're dead, where the shark's not trying to kill you. It just wanted to bite you, and it goes, you're not what I want, and it leaves.
So I know you've watched that show that I like, right? Like the I Can't Believe I'm Still Alive.
I don't know why I do it, but yes.
So one of the episodes was just these 3 dudes that lived in Florida, and they swam in the same lake or whatever for years.
All right.
Right? And they knew there was gators, but they were like, you could kind of... Well, eventually, one of them got attacked, and the gator took him down, and same thing. Like, he survived, but he shouldn't have.
But what's his story? What did he go through? I mean, yes, you're attacked by a gator.
Did he lose an arm? You know what? Like what?
I think he lost an arm or something, but that death roll is brutal. But same thing... I'm just saying, like, they were just like, yeah, we knew they were around, but they never bugged us, so we didn't sweat it. It's like...
No, that's how it works, man.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, freshwater in Florida, that's just a bad idea.
I agreed.
Yep.
Agreed.
Well, Florida is just basically a swamp.
It is. That's exactly what it is. With some houses on it. And then swamp animals live everywhere else.
Correct.
One more on Florida, but this one goes all the way to Yellowstone National Park. A 47-year-old man from Cape Coral, Florida, was injured by a bison in Yellowstone National Park. on May the 4th. The incident occurred at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the Lake Village area of the park. The man approached the bison too closely. He was subsequently gored and sustained minor injuries, received treatment from emergency medical personnel. Incident is under investigation. It should not be under investigation.
What is the investigation?
No further details are available this time. I think you just got everything you needed to know there. If I'm writing this incident report, I'm like, the jackass got too close to a bison and it gored him. How's that?
Right.
Just listen to what he just said. That's what he just said happened.
So that's what happened.
Trust that.
Because it happens plenty.
Yeah. The incident is currently, as they say, under investigation. This is the first reported incident of a person being injured by a bison in 2025.
Oh, nice.
That's good. We made it to May. Yes, there were, of course, incidents last year, but this is the first one.
So he's the first.
Yeah, he's the first one. So it hasn't been done.
May the 4th. All right, man. We did all right to start the year.
Yeah, it's like James, our biggest dummy.
Yeah. About the same.
They hung in there pretty good. You know
but even James,
before
I'm not going to pet a bison.
Something completely stupid. All right, so our question, big or small, pet or not, what is your best story involving an animal? 206-803-ROCKS.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several European cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation and make it even more memorable by offering comfortable and spacious cabins where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth. For a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Bosch's innovative power tools make you feel like a Bosch. Like when you pile drive screws and bolts with the 2-in-1 impact driver, you'll feel like
Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh, yeah.
Or when you powerfully blast through concrete with the Bulldog rotary hammer, you'll feel
like I have the power.
And when you make buttery smooth cuts with the Glide Miter saw, you'll feel
Scoobity-bee-bop smooth, baby.
What he said. With expertly engineered power tools, the more you Bosch, the more you feel like a
Bosch.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Question, big or small, pet or not, what is your best story involving an animal? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Nathan. Welcome to the men's room.
What up?
Hola.
Hola.
So, I used to work as a security supervisor in downtown Salt Lake. Didn't pay great, but it was a decent enough job. And we had this one kid on one of our teams. He was kind of an idiot. And he calls me. It's like 3 a.m. in the morning. I got to be there at 6, so I'm up for the day now. And I'm kind of pissed off, you know. So I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And he says, "Oh, there's a coyote, you know, in the alleyway." I'm like, "What are you calling me for a coyote for?" You know, I was like, "It's weird to see in the city, but like, if you're that worried about it, call animal control." And he goes quiet for a second. And he says, "Well, should I go check it for a collar or something?"
The coyote.
Yeah, the coyote.
Please tell me you said yes.
I said what? Because I thought I misheard. You know, like a collar, make sure nobody owns it. I'm like, it's a coyote. I was like, call animal control or leave it alone, dude.
You should have told him to go out and check for a collar. Like, yeah, man, and just rub its belly. It'll calm right down.
So what did he do?
Yeah, seriously. I told him to call animal control. He's like, all right, I just wanted to make sure I didn't want to have somebody's pet put down. And I was like, nobody's going to have a pet coyote in the middle of Salt Lake, dude. Like,
And if it has a collar, animal control's not going to put it down. Let them call you to say, hey, we killed
You know
your
what you do
dog.
when you see a coyote? You go, look, there's a coyote.
And it's in the alley.
That's all. That's all you do.
Not in the
Look,
building.
You make a comment. Like, yeah, he looks scrawny. He looks like he's got mange.
But the point is, it's outside.
Right.
The only time a coyote's interesting, like, hey, there's a coyote in my living room. That's the story I want to hear. Coyote in my front yard? Yeah. That's where coyotes live, man. There's a coyote in the alley. What should I do? Nothing. Not call me. How about next time
You know
you
what you
see
need
a
to worry
coyote
about?
outside, don't call me.
You know what you need to worry about? An unleashed dog in a neighborhood, not a coyote. Somebody's pet that's free to roam. Maybe worry about that dog.
Sure.
Don't worry about a coyote. Big or small pet or not, what is your best story involving an animal? 206-803-ROB.
I'm with you. I'm much more thrown off by a random dog running around than a coyote.
All right, let me ask
understand
you
the
this,
coyote.
because now I got a plan in mind. All right, we got some coyotes around the hood. I want to go out and just tackle one. All right, I know it's a bad idea, but then I'm going to put a collar on it and set it free. So now, Ted, you think it's a coyote because it looks like a coyote, but they also kind of look like dogs. But you see this bright red collar on it with a little breath. Do you approach it now? Because I'm trying to convince you that it's a dog.
No, you do
really?
not. No.
Why not? If it's a yellow lab, you know for a fact that this is a dog, has the collar. Would you approach it?
No.
No? Okay, so you're just staring clear.
No, because I know it's a coyote.
Well, the other thing too
Are
is
you
coyotes,
sure it's a coyote
but
with a
coyotes
collar?
also are tricksters and very they attack things they can win.
Yeah.
So if there's a coyote at the end of the alley and I'm walking towards it, he's just going to take off.
Yeah. Also,
it's
hunt.
hard to get them.
They hunt nocturnally.
Right.
So they're not going to hunt during the day. They're going to be the ones that when your cat doesn't come home.
Sure.
You can explain it that way.
I'm just saying, I'm going to throw a collar on one and see if someone's like, oh,
Well, see, I would think
somebody's
your
dog is lost.
Your dog is fine.
You think?
Oh, yeah. A coyote wouldn't mess with your dog.
Actually, I know that. There were two at the end of my driveway a couple of years ago. In the fog, it was weird, but I knew there was something there. Did not realize it was coyotes because it was foggy out. But my dog had looked in the direction, smelled them, and had zero reaction. But it says, whatever it is, it's not a threat. At least not to her. And then I saw the coyotes run off, and I'm like, all right, cool.
Correct. We're Mike's dog is questionable.
No, it's not.
Right.
That dog is gone.
Like that girl I dated that had the Papillon.
Gone.
The Papillon's gone.
That's gone.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what coyotes do, right? They'll sit out in the woods and they'll mimic dogs in pain so other dogs come to help, and then they'll attack your dog as a group.
Okay.
That's very vicious of them.
Yeah.
I don't know if I go to check to see if someone sounds like they're in pain.
No.
Well, it's like in Native American lore, right? Like the wolf is respected, revered.
Sure.
The
Coyote's
coyote's
a trickster. Yeah.
Okay.
Sons of bitches.
Did not know that. Big or small, pet or not, what is the best story you've got involving an animal? 206-803-ROB.
Miles, if you need some Native American stuff, feel free to ask me.
Well, I didn't. I honestly,
go-to.
I did not know the difference. I mean, I know the size difference, and the fact that wolves are endangered. Trying to bring them back. I know coyotes are everywhere.
They're everywhere. And no one really sweats it. You go, there's a coyote roaming around the neighborhood. If you bring up a wolf roaming around the neighborhood, you get a different response.
Right.
You ever find that mountain lion in the park across the street from your house?
Nah.
All right.
I still don't think he's in there.
Why not? It's a perfect place for it.
It's too busy outside of that. I mean, that little park is cut off.
It is.
I just can't imagine a mountain lion just cruising around in there.
All right.
I go back there sometimes. I'll go check.
Okay.
But usually I'm just back there smoking weed.
That's right. Yeah, I imagine.
Usually I just have to run off teenagers.
Get away from me.
Yeah,
My weed.
we're all doing the same stuff, but it's a bad look for me if you're near me.
That is correct. That is correct. Hello, Raleigh. Welcome to the men's room.
What's good?
Hola.
All right, so about like a year ago or so, my wife, she left some stuff out, right? And and our dog, right? He
You all right, man?
He may not have chewed up her vibrator.
She left some stuff out. The dog chewed up her vibrator. Is that what you're telling us?
Yep.
Yeah, man. Because it smells like pants
Did
candy.
you step up your game?
Did you wiggle a lot?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah. Was that dude all right?
No.
Yeah, he was not. Look.
That's what I asked him.
Hey, man.
And ladies, anything that touches your crotch, a dog wants to eat. And it only seems to be women, right? Because when we first got our dog,
yeah.
and my wife knows this now, but I would get these angry texts, right? Look at it with a picture, your dog ate out the crotch, your dog ate out the crotch. And I knew my clothes were next to hers. Never a problem, which pisses my wife off. And I'm like, look, man, you got the pants candy. Take it as a compliment. So I've heard about it with sex toys before, too. Lady's like, man, if I leave it out, like the dog is all about it.
My buddy, he got a new puppy like 8 months ago.
All right.
He's going through the same problem.
Hey, look, I don't know what you do.
The dog is just running through her underwear. And it's not cheap.
Jeans. It is not cheap.
Jeans,
and my wife lost a lot of underwear. She lost a lot of jeans. Basically, if it touches
jeans,
her crotch, it will be gone. And it doesn't matter. We finally had to get like these, it's a laundry, basically it's a laundry basket that slips under a shelf. So it's physically impossible. I want to say we went through 2 other laundry baskets. Oh, she figured out how to open one. And again, she pulled all the clothes out, and there'd be a pile of freshly eaten panties.
Yeah, well, the problem is those jeans are $200 to $300 jeans.
Oh, I've heard.
So in my world, I was like, this is getting to be expensive.
Yeah. Well, my wife won't replace them now, right?
Was Raleigh okay when you talked to him on the phone there, Mike? Was he wasn't? Okay.
$200 pair of jeans.
Bigger.
I wear a $300 pair of jeans. It better come with a date.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I feel like with women, for whatever reason, their jeans just seem to cost $8 billion. Maybe women get charged more to have pants with pockets. Maybe that's what the thing is. Because like guys are like, I got a $70 pair of jeans. I got a $40 pair of jeans. I have one expensive pair of jeans that my wife made me buy because we had to go to that thing I didn't want to go to. But if the crotch is eating out of them, I'm not replacing those. I'll replace my Levi's. But these ones whose name I can't pronounce, like, they're gone. That's it.
Big or small, pet or not, what is your best story involving an animal? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Luke. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
Okay, so this is not exactly the best, but I thought it was pretty funny to share anyhow. It's kind of a two-parter. Part one, this was like 2018 in October. My mom and I, during the weekend, we were trying to help one of our neighbors with some yard work, and we happened coming across the road, we happened to see 3 raccoons stacked on top of each other, style, looking into her bathroom window. And my mom, she just chuckled, but I started laughing my butt off because I had never seen that before. That's one way I know God has a sense of humor.
Yeah, it's teamwork.
Yeah,
that is definitely teamwork.
Yeah, that's just humor, but yes. Anyhow, the second part was like 3 months later, we were doing some yard work of our own, and we saw those same raccoons walking around the streets, stacked totem pole on top of each other, and they just started, they weren't even doing anything. They just started.
Do you think they were stuck? I mean, at some point I go, okay, there's no way they're just having, a trio all the freaking time. Like, these things might be stuck at this point. 3 raccoons. Just saying. If you see them walking down the street and they are still stuck, like, something has gone wrong.
Ones we see in our neighborhood are waddling. They are very, very
They're
well
so
fed.
fat. It's weird when you actually see one in the wild. You forget, at least for me, because I live in the city, right?
Yeah.
So you'll see something on the news, you go out in the wild. I'm like, right, God, I forgot. Raccoons are not supposed to be fat. But like the 2 that live somewhere in my general vicinity, see them every night at the same time. They are so remarkably fat. And I almost feel bad. Like, I want to apologize to raccoons, like, hey, I got a bad body image of him, and it's because of the ones that live in my neighborhood, bro. I totally forgot that you're skinny.
We did.
The American diet is so bad that the raccoons are
they're
fat
eating
from
our trash.
Oh, man.
God, it's
That's
unbelievable.
crazy.
I got the one can't even climb the fence, right? His wife, call it his wife, who knows? She's a little slimmer. She's fat. She's kind of like a bowling ball. Like a bowling pin, right? So she's got a fat backside, but she can slowly pull her ass up on the fence and then balance and disappear from view. The dude, it's always like 7 tries. And it's so sad to watch. And I just sit there with my cigarette because he'll jump up and he's got his claws on the top, right? But seriously, I cannot explain how fat this mofo is. And he drops down, right? And I'm not, over the last 2 years, the wife, as I call her, stops waiting for him. It used to be the 2 kind of being part of the fence, and they have to jump down, and then they go back up. And she'd kind of wait for him to get his fat ass up, but he has gotten worse at it. She just disappears now.
Yeah, well, when I was down in Mexico,
take a photo
with the
I
kids.
do, man.
We were doing those veterinary clinics, and basically we would just do everything. We go from town to town and do a different clinic every day. And kids and families would bring in their pets to be spayed and neutered or whatever they needed, as far as their animals go. So, and this was the same trip where I had to learn to throw my fecal stained toilet paper into a wastebasket.
Right.
You could not flush toilet paper. So that was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life, was wipe my butt and then throw it away in a trash can. That was the mountain to climb, right? I got over that. But we were at a clinic. It was like the second day or the third day. My job that day was recovery from anesthesia. Okay?
So what do?
When the animals are coming out of anesthesia, you either hold them, you kind of generally just kind of wake them up.
What kind of animals are these?
Cats, dogs,
Oh,
raccoons.
standard raccoons. All right.
Yeah, but
do they need to be coddled when they're coming out of anesthesia?
Can't
they just wake up?
It's a little bit. You need to kind of rile them. You need to kind of wake them. You need to bounce them. It's like having a baby on your shoulder, right? So cats,
get up, baby.
Cats are one thing. And these cats were pretty docile, and they start purring, and you're like, okay. And then you call the kid over, and he would come, and he would get his cat or his dog or whatever. But there's this raccoon, man, and it's on a table, and she's like, just pick it up, put it on your shoulder like a baby, pat it on the back, he'll wake up.
Is that a normal sized raccoon?
Yeah, but skinnier. And I'm like looking at that, and I'm like, just to reach down and pick this damn thing up. And to put both my hands underneath its arms or its front, things, arms, whatever.
Front things, yeah.
And then I put this thing, and they have real big, long, black fingernails. So I put this thing on my... I put this thing on my shoulder, man, and I'm bouncing and walking around like this, and I'm like, this is the most effed up. This is worse than wiping my butt. I don't know what this thing is going to do when it wakes up. I have never held a raccoon like this before, like a baby.
That's a good thing.
On my shoulder. I'm bouncing it around. I'm looking at it, and the kid's waiting for his pet back. And I'm like, man, is this thing going to wake up? And the thing sneezes. That's you. Blows snot all over the shoulder. I swear to God. That woke up the raccoon. Then he looked at me. And I'm like looking at him, and he's looking at me. Like, he doesn't know me.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at him, and he's looking at me. And it was like the damnedest thing. I'm like, God damn, man, he's right here. He's right here. And I'm looking at him like this. I'm like, this is messed up, man. But they're not fat at all. They're actually very docile and very nice.
It's just hard for me to picture.
And I handed the raccoon to the kid, and the kid's like, thank you. And of course, the raccoon shaved from where he got his stuff tied.
Oh, good look.
Yeah, exactly. Big or small, pet or not, what is your best story involving an animal? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Terrell. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
So years and years ago, I was in a horrible relationship, and then she ended up having a baby and buying me a dog. The baby, explainable. The dog, not so much.
So wait, she had the baby and bought you a dog?
Yeah, she had the baby, and then a couple months later, she bought me a dog.
Was it your baby?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Thank God.
No better time to get a dog than right after you have a baby.
Why didn't you quit your job, move, and get married all at once?
I don't know. I can't explain all of that. But anyway, it was a horrible relationship. So she started taking it out on the dog, right? Beautiful pit bull. Beautiful American pit bull. And, never bite the hands that feed you. So my baby was my baby. I mean, no pun intended. The baby was my baby.
You're talking about the dog now?
My baby. Yeah, they're talking about the dog.
Okay,
now.
so for future reference in the story, when you talk about your baby, you're talking about the dog, not the baby.
So when you talk about the baby, why don't you talk about the dog?
No, the baby's his dog, but that dog is his baby.
Yeah.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah, we get you, man.
Thank you. All right, so my dog. So we're in a honeymoon phase again, where we just got back together. Everything's all good. So we're doing the deed. We're in the room, but things have happened before. So I made sure I put my dog away. She's in the kennel downstairs. I'm upstairs in a room, door closed. Well, dogs can hear like a whole lot better than human beings.
Yes, they can.
And I don't know what she thought was going on, but I hear the kennel door open and slam open. I'm like, no way. It's not possible. About a couple seconds later, the door flies open, and she is on the bed, and she is biting her left and right.
Oh.
And my dog just jumped on the bed, and she was a female dog as well. Yeah, she jumped on the bed and tore her butt up.
For how long was the dog on her?
Okay, so we had just got back together, so I was still kind of angry. So I let my dog bite her a couple times.
No.
And then I stopped her.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Okay.
And it's a very important question. As this woman is being bitten and attacked by this dog, did you maintain your erection?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all whatsoever.
And where was the dog biting her? On her leg?
Oh, she bit her twice on the butt. She bit her once in the ribs. She got her in the boob. And then she got her on the arm.
Wow. Okay. I guess she probably had to go to the hospital after that.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't. They
Are you sure?
Full on bites. They weren't full on bites. They were more like nips. But she had some bite marks.
Well, to me, if you got bite marks, then that's not a nip.
Yeah, nips are like the 8 things that your dog has on her belly.
Yeah.
But she was an RN at the time. She was an RN at the time, and she knew that my dog had all the shots and everything. So she just tended to herself.
So you're free to bite. You're good to go.
All right. So how much longer did you stay together, and do you still have the dog?
Oh, no, we didn't stay together that long at all. And then I found a loving home for her. And then, the people that I gave her to, like, they kept her all the way to the end. Like, I made sure I kept in contact with the people. Like I said, that was my baby.
How? Speaking of your baby, the daughter and all this.
That's his dog.
How's she doing? The daughter.
Oh, my daughter is great. She just unfortunately, she just made the cheer team. So yay, thousands of dollars.
She made the what team?
Nice.
Cheer team. Okay, all
Spoken
right.
like a true parent. Like, damn it.
Those tennis shoes are cheap.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, but damn it, man.
Big or small, pet or not, and they're traveling. What is your best story involving an animal? 206-803-ROCK.
I'm going to Spokane this weekend.
Are you?
Oh, yes, I am.
You have to brag.
Yeah, the volleyball
Do
tournament.
volleyball teams have cheerleaders?
No.
Okay, did not know.
For volleyball?
We didn't have volleyball.
I know, but when you think of sports or cheerleaders, I'm just picturing cheerleaders at a volleyball game.
It's in a bat. It's in an auditorium.
Yeah.
Cheerleaders for most of the stuff in an auditorium. Girls.
That's not true.
Did you have cheerleaders
Did you
for
ever been to
basketball?
a wrestling tournament? There's no cheerleaders.
Oh, that's where they need cheerleaders.
Cheerleaders are
wrestling
football and basketball.
I think we had cheerleaders for the wrestling tournament.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure.
Cheerleaders in baseball in Mexico.
We never had cheerleaders for baseball. That's a fact. They get too bored.
No, but I didn't know
Mexico has
anybody, which was crazy, man. They were cool. They were great. All the same routines. And keep in mind, they got a lot more time to put on routines. So they got like these full dances on. My son, very young, just locked his eyes on this chick's boobs. The way he's holding my hand, I almost had to pick him up to move him. He became an anchor.
If I was a chess coach, I think I'd ask.
A chest coach?
Chess coach. I think I'd be like, hey, look.
Chess.
Yes, chess. Like
Chess. I thought you said chest.
Chest. Well, I could be the chess coach, too. If I was a chess coach, I would ask the cheerleading squad if they would like to accompany us to our next match against...
He took your K-N-I-G-H-T. Night, go!
Exactly. Let's come up with some stuff on the bus on the way there. We will be.
When I say check, you say mate. Check, mate. Check,
we will be the only chess team in the United States with cheerleaders.
That would be awesome.
Yes.
Dude, I watched that Indian Premier League.
All right.
Generally, cricket doesn't have cheerleaders.
Yeah, I can't imagine it.
They do.
Really?
It's awesome. From what I could tell, I'm like, they got to be from Russia or something.
What would be the ultimate sport or game to have cheerleaders? You're right. Chess. Chess would be cool.
Bowling.
I can't believe bowling doesn't. When you think
man.
about where in the country it's huge, you would just think.
You can't believe bowling doesn't have cheerleaders.
So first of all,
can't.
bowling is not boring from the spectator perspective.
Sure.
If you watch bowling now on television, people are going nuts. They're losing it. It's
because you're 50.
Yeah, I mean, the crowd. The
Right.
crowd's going absolutely ape-ass, man. It's kind of because they're doing that kind of like more rock and roll life, kind of look to it now.
Yeah.
And music and lights.
A couple of texts came in. It says they had cheerleaders for their wrestling, and sometimes we had cheerleaders at our swim meets.
Nice.
Yeah, it just depends.
That makes a little more sense. Kind of cheer them on. Yeah, wrestling. That's,
See, I want the pet band at the chess tournament.
the pet band.
The pet band.
Pet band.
Oh, pet band.
Every time he makes a good move.
Just a drum
Yeah,
on.
like the one that goes to the basketball tournament.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's smaller. They play quicker songs.
Yeah. So every time you take one of their pieces.
They can also do like the wah wah
Right.
when they're taking pieces and stuff. Big or small, pet or not, what is your best story involving an animal? 206-803-ROCK.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With nonstop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation by offering comfortable and spacious cabins. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate, then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth. For a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
This Bosch 2-in-1 impact driver rules.
Oh, yeah!
That couldn't have been
Macho Man Randy Savage indeed, yeah. A.K.A. You're in a Bosch. I'm a macho manifestation of that feeling you get when you use that 2-in-1 impact driver.
Oh, yeah?
Nah, say it with your chest, brother. Oh, yeah!
Oh, yeah!
We'll work on that.
The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a
Bosch.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth. For a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several European cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation and make it even more memorable by offering comfortable and spacious cabins where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
The shenanigans continue. This is the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Woman in Michigan, she called Saginaw County Animal Care and Control and said she needed help. Her house had become overrun by rabbits. She said she bought a few rabbits as pets for her kids, but they started breeding, and she could not stop them. Woman tried to separate them by putting them in pens in her basement, but they get around that by chewing through drywall and other materials, basically making it impossible to contain them. She thought the number of rabbits had maybe grown to 50, but animal control removed more than 65.
Damn.
Even worse, many of the female rabbits were pregnant at the time. Now, it's unclear how long ago she bought the initial rabbits, but it could have been this past Easter. It does take about a month for new rabbits to be born. As ridiculous as the situation is, It's mostly sad, as many of the rabbits needed immediate medical attention. Several were so bad they had to be euthanized. But either way, unclear if the woman will face any sort of punishment. But officials do say they're doing everything they can to treat the animals and place them in good homes.
I don't know a lot about rabbits, but I know they like to F, right? I mean, that's the one thing
Basically
you put
what
out there.
what the subject matter was there. Big or small pet or not, what is your best story involving an animal? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Mike. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So, many years ago, I was working for a civil engineering and land surveying firm down in Brooksville, Florida, north of Tampa. And one of my duties was I had to go out in the field with a surveyor and an environmentalist to locate wetland lines. We were working on an 800-acre piece of property, had a bunch of wetlands. We had this young, energetic biologist who's going to save the world, the environment. So we're walking basically through, you got to realize it's all undeveloped land. It's scrub palmetto, which is about knee to thigh high. As we're walking from one part of the site to another, we come to this biologist. He's leading the way, and I kept telling him, dude, you might want to get behind the surveyor because he knows this land better than anybody. He's an older guy, good old boy, grew up in the South. So we're come to this open stretch where we come out of the scrub palmetto. This is open, sandy soil. And this kid is just barreling through there. Surveyor grabs him by the back of the neck, says, boy, you may not want to step there. There's a 6-foot diamondback rattlesnake stretched out, soaking up the sun. So after that happened, we all fell in line and followed that surveyor wherever we went.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, makes sense.
Oh, yeah. I mean, hell, follow the guy who knows what the hell's going on.
That's right. In a place like that, absolutely.
Yeah. And I tell you what, he's not wrong either. You go north of Tampa, it's not the developed region.
Yeah.
So South Bradenton all the way down to Naples, pretty well developed on that west side. But once you start going north, since they don't really have any beaches, where you get up to where my dad lives in Hudson, it's all farmland, swamps, and rocky beaches. All right, yeah, and a huge ass red tide, but it really is. It's in the middle of nowhere. Big or a small pet or not, what is your best story involving an animal? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Pete. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Hey, let me take you off the speakerphone thing here. There you go. You guys still there?
Yeah, we got you.
All right. Life is good. Hey, so about 150 years ago, it seems, I got this dog from the pound, $75 best friend, right? Well, a couple of years later, my buddy and I decided we're going to go up the other side of Stevens Pass, and we're going to climb up the side of these hills, and we're going to ski down them because we're too cheap to buy tickets. And we just get to this one point where it's kind of clear, and the dog will not go any further. And I'm like, checked her paws. There's no frostbite or anything like that. Turned around. She was happy to go down. She was happy to go sideways, would not go up to save anything. And so I told my buddy, I'm like, well, I'm just going to have to take her back to the car. I'll be back in 45 minutes. Why don't you hang out here in these trees? And he says, we don't split up, but I can't believe you're letting your dog push you around. About 100 feet down the hill into the trees, the entire side of the mountain let go with an avalanche. Hundreds of thousands of metric tons of snow came zipping down.
Oh.
It was like being in a freight train. You could feel it. You couldn't hear anything else. It was in your head. Like, I was pretty sure we were done. I'm just holding on to a tree. My dog's right there next to me. And then everything gets coated in this mist of snow, and it's the quietest you've ever... I mean, I could hear blinking.
I could hear blinking. What about your buddy? Was your buddy okay?
He was fine. Yeah,
all right.
He was
he died, man.
Exactly. He was swept away.
He was gone.
He's done.
So you think your dog could kind of hear the ground shifting and just said, nah, man.
I don't know. I called out for Jason. I said, hey, man, are you alive? And he goes, yeah, are you? I'm like, we're not doing this again together. If you have to ask after. So he turned out to be kind of a flaky friend. But I'm not touchy-feely fun with crystals. I'm not spiritual. I'm not mystic. But I have no question saying that dog saved my life.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's no doubt about it,
That's
man.
definitely animal instinct, man. I thought you were going to say it could have been a bear. Could have been a number of things.
That's what I was thinking.
Could have been a number of things. But it was definitely an element of danger to some degree where the dog said no.
I wonder if your dog, in his head, is like, Pete is so stupid. I don't know. To something like, there's about to be an avalanche. Pete.
Yeah.
It's about to be. You don't hear this? Pete.
You don't feel that? You don't hear that? You don't know that? Yeah, she was looking at me like I was a dumb one. And,
Yeah, oh, man.
Dogs are smart.
And then once it was over, she was totally fine going up there. I'm like, I think we've dodged our bullet today. Like, that's our lottery ticket.
But at that point, I trust the dog. Like,
yeah. They've got dogs that can smell different types of cancer. They've got dogs that can smell everything.
And they train them to do it. Man, and their sense of direction. I told you before, I'm camping in the Appalachians. There's a total of 4 of us. But at one point, I just want to get away. I'm just going to wander into the woods. And me being the woodsman, I'm definitely going to remember how to get back. But as I'm leaving, my dog, it will not stay with everyone else. And I keep trying to, no, do go back. I'm just going to go off. Whatever. Finally give up. I'll walk with the dog fine. And the dog's just walking beside me. He's a big-ass Belgian Shepherd. Whatever I'm going through, I'll remember that tree. I'll remember that tree. Don't ever tell yourself that. Because when you turn around, the forest looks like the forest, right? But I'm out there for about an hour, and I realize, I truly have no idea where the hell I'm going. I don't know direction I've come from. Because, again, in the woods, you're just in the middle of the woods. So the dog's just standing there kind of wagging her tail slowly, looking at me, waiting for me to do something. So the one thing about her is you never had to walk her on a leash, right? If you said park, she walked to the park with or without you. If you said okay, that meant let's go home, right? She was just that dog. So I'm looking at her. She's looking at me. I'm quietly panicking like, I'm going to die out here. I have absolutely, and there's no cell phones back then or any of that crap. So I looked at the dog and said, okay. Now keep in mind, I've been walking for an hour. So the dog takes off sideways as my perception of things are. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. She's more lost than I am. 10 minutes later, walked directly back to my camp from the opposite angle that I'd left. And I just remember looking at that dog like, if you were not with me, no one would have ever seen me again.
Yeah.
But I was like, the whole time, the dog's like, the camp's over there. Yep. I don't know why he's panicking, man. The camp is right there.
I can smell dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Big or small, pet or not, what is your best story involving an animal? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Neil. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Can I get a fish sandwich?
Not yet, man.
It's too early.
All right.
Fish sandwich?
Oh, there's one.
There we go. So,
can I buy you a fish sandwich?
This episode is brought to you by Progressive. Most of you aren't just listening right now. You're driving, cleaning, and even exercising. But what if you could be saving money by switching to Progressive? Drivers who save by switching save nearly $750 on average. And auto customers qualify for an average of 7 discounts. Multitask right now. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $744 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Discounts not available in all states and situations.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth. For a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several European cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation and make it even more memorable by offering comfortable and spacious cabins where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
Man, that was easy.
Bulldog Rotary Hammer!
Hello?
It is I, He-Man, your inner Bosch.
Inner...
Bosch!
I'm sorry, what?
That powerful feeling you get when you can powerfully blast through concrete. Say it with me.
What, like right now?
Yes! We have the power!
The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a...
Auto insurance rates are on the rise, which is why you should call Vern Fonk Insurance. Vern Fonk could save you up to 20% on your auto insurance. The pros at Vern Fonk will do all the work, comparing different plans to find you the best options. And they can insure you over the phone. One call to Vern Fonk could save you up to 20%. Call 206-408-5094. 206-408-5094.
Remember to honk when you drive by Vern Fonk.
Restrictions apply based on a Q3 2023 study of Vern Fonk Insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number 1070622.
A
filet of fish sandwich.
A skunk.
She grew up with a skunk.
Yeah, we had a skunk when I was a kid.
As a pet?
And then, yeah.
Was the stink part taken out of it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then when I was stationed at Fort Lewis back in 2003, I was on staff duty, so working all night, 24-hour shift. We were feeding raccoons, so you talked about fat raccoons earlier.
Yes.
It's probably because of me. We fed them sour cherries and Cheetos.
Sour
all
cherries.
night long.
All right, now which did it seem to like more?
The sour cherries.
Really? That would have been more.
Was it a docile raccoon? Could you walk up to it and touch it, or did you just throw stuff at it?
Oh, he came up to the door.
Oh, all right.
And was like trying to get into our staff duty office.
Now, did this raccoon start returning?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was going to.
It was living in the trash can outside, and then we would feed it, and it would keep coming back for more.
Look, there's videos. I can't remember if it's a Krispy Kreme donut. I don't remember. It's a drive-through. Anyway, raccoon comes up, gets on its hindquarters.
Oh,
begs for whatever the hell they've got in there. I don't know if it's like a chicken strip or whatever, but just like kind of knows, like, yeah, this is where I come and get my treat every day.
Right, you're right. They kind of had a name for it.
It kind of look like a red panda when they get up on their hind legs, you know, with their arms up in the air, like, all right, give me some food. Big or small, pet or not, what is your best story involving an animal? 206-803-ROCK.
You ever seen the video of that raccoon that has cotton candy?
No.
Oh, can't figure out what's going on in its mouth or something?
No. He drops it in the water.
And it disappears?
Yeah, and he's like shocked. That's so like, I don't know. I kind of like
their food.
What's that?
They clean their food, which is what he was doing.
So he dropped it in the water on
He was-
purpose.
Right. He put it in the water so that it would clean it off, but it's just
It
sponge
just
sugar.
dissipates, and he's just like,
So raccoons wash their food first?
Yeah.
I mean, we call them trash, but like, I don't always rinse my food.
Well,
That's
it's
like
not
they did with
trash to
raccoons.
him.
Well, yeah, that's a good point.
he's a raccoon.
Yeah.
Right?
a
Like
straw
people,
point.
like my buddy's brother is like one of those mushroom foragers, right?
Yeah.
Well, animals might think it's trash.
All right. Raccoon, he's got cotton candy. He's kind of pissed.
What the hell, man?
What the F?
There you go.
Yeah, serves him right.
I want to serve cotton candy to raccoons.
Just to mess with him?
Just to mess with them, man.
I feel like that city fat one in your house, though. He just be like, oh, thanks, man.
I think he'd stick me up with a knife.
Was it the kid at the Mariners game that was all excited on the cotton candy years ago?
yeah.
Mike and I were at that
I
game.
wonder whatever happened to that girl. She's probably like in college now.
What was she
isn't
excited about?
She was just eating. She was just eating.
It's a
cotton
weeknight
candy.
game.
All
It's like, I don't, for some reason, Mike and I just happened to be at that game.
Okay.
It's cold out. They're not doing well, and they just keep going to this little kid who's apparently never had cotton candy. You've seen her.
She's fired up. She's
just like going, oh.
She's on crack, man. She's like, wow, this is amazing.
It's like nowadays, right? They got all kind of different juices for kids, right?
Sure.
Some of them was like they don't have as much sugar or whatever. But my buddy, his second daughter, forget how old she was, but I was like, let's give her a little juice. And same thing, just a little hit of juice, and then it's like,
You've
and she just
created a
kept like
demon.
leaning her head forward, like more juice.
Yeah, dude, juice is solid.
Yeah, sugar.
Big or small, pet or not, what is your best story involving an animal? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Tim. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, hola.
Hola.
Hey, so my story's not as wild as that guy that mauled his girlfriend with an American pit bull.
Good. That's a good thing.
God. But years ago, I got read into a classified program where we were working out in the desert. And part of the read-in, they're like, hey, so in the hangar, we have hatched a bird, a roadrunner, and his name is Fred. And Fred, they hatched him inside the hangar so that he would hang her out there. and kill all the scorpions and rattlesnakes around.
So it's like a barn cat.
So wait, do they eat rattlesnakes and scorpions?
Yeah, they are awesome. So I didn't see Fred for my first couple of weeks there. I knew, like we were all told, you're fired on the spot if you screw with Fred. And so we worked all night. Like daytimes we were off. And so one night someone's like, oh, look at Fred. And immediately saw all these lights going towards the hangar. And the way the Roadrunners kill the snakes is they run in circles around them. And the snakes just cannot, after a while, it either wears them out or the snakes just cannot come with the calculation on how to defeat that. The Roadrunner bites it on the back of the head and then smashes its head into the ground.
Jesus.
And,
did you ever witness this?
Oh, it's awesome. Like, I mean, that was like the highlight of my time, like working there, was watching Fred. And
how long
and
did
the other
it
thing,
wait? How long did it take Fred? So say Fred's going to square off with the snake. So as far as running in circles and all that kind of thing, how long does it take before he can finally do his death stroke?
it's like about 1 minute, 1 to 3 minutes, and
just running in circles.
Yeah, because they're like chickens; they can run forever, and the snake cannot keep turning around though forever. And
damn.
So, yeah, and then the other thing was, since we worked all nights, there was this coyote that came out. We all nicknamed him Wiley, and we usually had beef jerky in our pockets, and so everyone just throw him a chunk. So I mean, we basically trained the coyote to hang out with us. And
so basically, you worked with a coyote and a roadrunner.
And a roadrunner.
Yeah, it was wild.
Nice.
And then one final story, if we got time. When I went overseas, we'd sleep out in the desert just on the floor, and twice I've woken up with cobras laying right beside me trying to get warm from me.
No. What do you mean twice?
Oh.
If you said it happened once, I would understand.
What desert?
I can't say, but it was outside of the U.S. But the nice thing is cobras, when they wake up, they're a little groggy. So you can just... Yeah, you have time to get away from them, or at least the two that I've been around.
Aren't they only really like in India?
No, they're in several other places.
Okay,
He almost slipped up.
You were just sleeping on the ground, no tent?
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, how did this happen twice, right? Because, look, I'm just saying, I'm sleeping out in the desert. I wake up once. There's cobras snuggling up to me. There's no chance I'm doing that again.
Well, it was his job. I don't think he had a choice.
When you're doing surveillance, it's long
hours
watching something, and and you're usually sleep deprived, so it doesn't really take a whole lot for you to like conk out.
Did people warn you about this, or is this something you discovered?
I hadn't heard about it until the first time that happened with me, and I know two other people that's happened with. One guy actually went into his sleeping bag. I'm like, screw that.
Did you sign up for this job? Like when you do they say did you say
you recruited?
I want to do this, or do they say you would be the right person to do this, or how does one get themselves in this situation? You know.
So here's my view on this. The coolest jobs that are out there are not advertised like that. It's usually like, hey, we need somebody for doing some crappy for whatever job. We don't know what it is. And so the guys that don't want to volunteer for that end up not doing the cool stuff. It's once you volunteer for something like that, and then you get pulled into a room where you have to sign a non-disclosure form. That's where I start getting excited. I'm like, oh, so we're signing away that we'll never talk about this for the rest of our lives. I have no idea what it is, but it's probably more interesting.
That's what I was going to ask. Do they make you sign the NDA before?
Yes.
They tell you.
Yeah,
okay.
You have no clue.
Did you even give it any thought, or did you say, hand me the pen, brother?
That's the latter. I've done it 7 times and never regretted it ever.
So you can't, even if you, let's just assume that you and a girlfriend, a new wife, or whatever the deal is, you go traveling, and she says, I want to go here. And you said, okay. Even if you've been there before, you can't act like you've been there before. Like, oh, that is nice. Yeah, they have a museum. What do you know? I mean, you have to act like you have to feign ignorance. You've never even stepped foot in that area.
Yeah, because someone could. The intelligence world is just putting puzzle pieces together.
Right.
So if you know what I did or who I was, and then you hear something like that, you could start piecing it together, especially with social media and especially with like petabytes of data that never get deleted. So, right now it could be a mystery, but yeah, in the future.
You're not getting your passport stamped on these operations.
He probably has multiples.
Yeah, so you have a diplomatic passport for going in certain areas, and then other places, you just don't go in with anything, and that's a whole nother realm.
Yeah, go on with nothing. Then
Let me ask you this: you ever just slipped up and started talking another language at like a restaurant?
I speak 7 languages.
See? But you can't act like you know them, right?
Okay, but wait. Have you ever heard someone talking smack about you? You're a tourist somewhere, right? And you realize that someone else on the train's talking S about your ass, but they don't know that you know what they're saying.
Yeah, so that's happened a lot with me. Especially like Arabs, they love to talk crap about you. And so I'm dyslexic, so Arabic came way natural to me because you're reading right to left.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I should pick up. So does that mean you can read Yiddish or,
Nope.
You cannot.
When does Yiddish come in handy? I'm just saying, in the scheme of things
if you can
that
read
this
Hebrew,
man
if you
has
can read
done,
Hebrew, it's still right to live.
We're not teaching you Arabic, we're teaching you Yiddish.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you can translate the bar mitzvah. I mean, like,
what a schnoz you have.
Right.
Big or small, pet or not, what is your best story involving an animal? 206-803-ROCKS.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation. Trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you, committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With nonstop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation by offering comfortable and spacious cabins. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
This Bosch 2-in-1 impact driver rules.
Oh, yeah!
That couldn't have been.
Macho Man Randy Savage indeed. Yeah, a.k.a. you're in a Bosch. I'm a macho manifestation of that feeling you get when you use that 2-in-1 impact driver.
Oh, yeah?
Nah, say it with your chest, brother. Oh, yeah!
Oh, yeah!
We'll work on that.
The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
Auto insurance rates are on the rise, which is why you should call Vern Fonk Insurance. Vern Fonk could save you up to 20% on your auto insurance. The pros at Vern Fonk will do all the work, comparing different plans to find you the best options. And they can insure you over the phone. One call to Vern Fonk could save you up to 20%. Call 206-408-5094. 206-408-5094.
Remember to honk when you drive by Vern Fonk.
Restrictions apply based on a Q3 2023 study of Vern Fonk Insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number 1070622.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Pinky's Plumbing Studio, you're in the men's room. Text the guys at 206-803-ROCK.
Return of Who Sucks Less on the way at 4:30 right after emails on our question, big or small, pet or not. What is your best story involving an animal? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Jared. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
All right. So when I was 12, I had a German Shepherd Lab mix.
Yeah.
And I have, and I have 3 older brothers, and they all convinced me that I should train her to be an attack dog. And so without any foresight or knowledge of training dogs, I decided to give it a go. And so I was like, all right, I'm just going to hold up my arm and give her a treat and say, sick 'em. And then, anytime I say sick 'em, she'll jump up and bite someone's arm. And after about half an hour of this, I got it down so it worked, and I was really excited. And
how old were you at this point?
12.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Yeah, no prior experience training dogs.
Yeah. Obviously, as a 12-year-old, that's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
And so I went in and showed my mom, and I was like, hey, Mom, check this out. Held up my arm and said, courage, sick 'em. And she jumped up and bit my arm.
Your dog bit you.
My dog bit me, yeah.
Well, who are you trying to get it to bite? You, right?
Someone else.
Oh.
But wait, the other person there was your mom. So either it's going to bite you,
or your
which
mom.
we understand why, or your mom.
Yeah, so I was training the attack dog on myself.
Yeah, that's exactly what you did.
It did exactly what you trained it to do for half an hour.
Yeah, that is the 12-year-old mind. I like that. Sure, I'll train it.
And did it puncture the skin?
No.
Okay. Because my dog, I trained my dog to be an attack dog.
You trained your dog to be an attack dog?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I had an old...
How did it know to attack someone that's not you, would be my question.
Wait, which dog? Sunshine. Sunshine would jump. She would take a run. She would jump. She's a big-ass collie, and she would grab me by the forearm.
Yeah.
Now, I had a pad that I put on my forearm with a jacket on top of it. Like an old Letterman's jacket.
Yeah.
Covered in holes. She'd grab onto that, and I just spin her around, and she loved it. She would just fly around.
So is she an attack dog, or is she playing because it's fun?
Well, no, she knew when to jump and when to attack. I just had to tell her.
But I'm saying, would she attack someone else?
She would
if you said the words, would she attack someone else or attack you?
I never tried that. So it was just me because I had to put the pad on.
Okay.
Because her mouth was so big. Like, I did not want her...
You did not teach her to be an attack dog. You taught her to play.
I taught her to attack.
To play.
I taught her to play, but I told her also to be able to
only
attack.
to attack you.
Correct. That's it.
Years ago, and I've told this before, and it was my first experience with like a professionally trained attack dog. And it was this big-ass Doberman. It was like 2 years old, whatever. But it had been trained... I don't know if it was trained in Germany, but it only understood German commands was the thing. And where we were in Baltimore, this guy, we were like 14 or 15 years old, but he had gotten it for his grandmother because the neighborhood was a little shady, right? So one thing about Baltimore, if you got a dog, it doesn't matter if it's a Chihuahua, no one there will mess with you. That is a city terrified of dogs. So they had this big-ass Doberman, and it was nice enough, still kind of intimidated you, but if they're not attacking or anything, they literally don't do anything. They just sit there waiting for you to tell it to do something. Anyway, this is when, like, Yamaha scooters had first come out, and now they're all the rage. And all the drug dealers that want to be drug dealers in Baltimore were buying these. Easier way to transport drugs. That's the true thing. They actually busted a guy because he went to a dealership and bought all of them on the lot in cash. They were like, yeah, they called the
we'll
cops.
take the money.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so this guy at the Yamaha, he starts jawing to this third guy that I kind of know through my buddy Tony. He's the grandson of the woman with the dog. And he's like, man, my Yamaha, it could outrace the dog. So the guy had the dog's like, man, I really don't think so. I don't know what the top speed is of your Yamaha, but I'm telling you, there is no freaking way that thing is faster than this dog. Now, keep in mind, there's maybe 5 of us standing outside. So you got the one guy on his Yamaha scooter, me, my buddy Tony, a guy I don't really know, and the guy with the dog. And it's just this kind of round table discussion about it. So finally it gets down to the guy with the Yamaha is not going to let this go. Right? It's a brand new Yamaha. So you're not going to tell him that your stupid dog. Keep in mind, the dog is just sitting there the whole time, just like staring straight ahead, like nothing is happening. Things like a gargoyle with fur, right? So they finally decide it is, honestly.
You're right.
It doesn't.
Good description.
And everyone's like talking smack to each other, it's getting not heated, but kind of loud, and the dog just doesn't move. So finally they agree to do this race, but the guy that has a dog says, man, I'll even give you a head start. And this is on a dead-end street, which comes into play. And none of us were thinking about this. So guy takes off on his Yamaha scooter, and this thing's just screaming. I don't know how fast he's going, but he's going. Guy counts to maybe like 3 Mississippi, and he says whatever he says to this dog, but he says it in German. And this dog that had been sitting there paying attention to nothing, I mean, it gets up, it just shoots off down the street, and it is lightning quick. And he's closing the distance between itself and that Yamaha scooter like it's nothing. It's like chasing down a 2-year-old. Like, you're going to catch this thing. So the guy in the Yamaha, we see him. He keeps looking back, right? First he looks in his mirror, then he's actually turning his head to look back. Then you hear the Yamaha screaming more because he realizes this dog is catching up to him. Well, the problem was, because the guy that sent the dog, he's like, oh, man. We're like, what? And he goes, like there's, I don't know if it's the German word for go, but as far as the commands go, he's like, I didn't say go. I basically said attack. And we're like, oh, this is going to be awesome. So I guess the guy in the Yama kind of pieced it together like, this dog is not racing me. This dog is looking to kill my ass. So at the end of this dead-end street, it's a bit of a ravine, and there's some trees like on the other side. Not a very big ravine, but a bunch of trees, kind of a wooded area. So we see the Yamaha disappear over the edge of the ravine. Right, he does not put on his brakes at the end of the street because this dog is still giving chase. And I swear to God, like 1 second later, we see the dog disappear into the trees. Well, now the rest of us are running up the street, kind of laughing, trying to see what's going on. We can hear the dog barking. Finally gets to the end of the street. On the other side of the now keep in mind, in the ravine is the Yamaha scooter, which is still on. But he has abandoned this, and this dude
dumped it.
Yeah, he's like maybe 15 feet up in the tree. And it's not like a movie where you're just on a branch. I mean, he's tree hugging this thing because this was all adrenaline got his ass up there. And this dog is sitting below the tree, just barking straight up at this guy. And this dog sounds ferocious. So now Yamaha guy is screaming, like, get your effing dog, man. Get your effing. He's almost in tears. So guy that owns the dog, and he says whatever he says. And the dog, again, just shuts up and sits down again, back to the gargoyle thing. Dude in the tree still will not get out of the tree until that dog has physically been removed from there. Oh, yeah, dude, it was the craziest thing I've seen. I was like, you said the wrong command. He's like, I did not do it on purpose, man, but I basically said attack instead of go.
Big or small, pet or not, what is the best story involving an animal? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Kip. Welcome to the men's room.
How's it going, guys?
Hola.
Right on. You know, back when I was a teenager, I had a Savannah monitor, big lizard. And, I raised him from pretty much a hatchling, so he was trained as he was basically a house cat.
What do you feed a Savannah monitor?
Mice, baby rats.
Okay, all right, kind of the snake diet.
Did he look forward to seeing you, or I mean, how do these things interact?
Oh yeah, very much. He was very much into I'd come home from school and open up the door, and after he got over a foot or so, we didn't even have him in a tank. And so he'd just come up to the bedroom door and he'd start climbing up your leg and trying to snuggle with you. I mean, he was a cool little animal.
Okay.
Anyway, the coolest thing, part of the story was, he had his mice and rat diet, but he also loved scrambled eggs.
Of course.
All right, yeah.
That was one of his faves. So one day, Mom was actually cooking. We were having breakfast for dinner, so she's up in the kitchen doing her thing, cooking some eggs. Well, he wanders on over, climbs up the back of her leg, all the way up her back, plops both his front legs over her shoulders, licks her in the face, and just sits there and staring at her while she's cooking like, is that mine? Is that mine?
So what did your mom do? Did she finally just feed him some eggs, hope he goes away?
Yeah, no, she loved him too. I mean, like I said, he was a house animal. I mean, he ate with our cat. I mean, he was
really. Did you have the cat or the lizard first?
We had the cat first.
And the cat, did it take any time to adjust to this rather strange creature crawling around the house?
A little bit, yeah. But after a while, like I said, it was about when he was about 3 feet long at the time.
Oh, okay.
So 3 foot long, 20 pounds. I mean, the cat wasn't going to mess with him, and the cat was too big for the lizard to eat.
How big can they get?
So you might as well get along.
Okay. How big can these things get?
Around 4 feet for the savannas.
All right, that's what I'm looking at right now.
And how much did you said about 20 pounds? And how long did this thing live or live with you?
About 6 years.
6 years. All right.
And then what happened?
Yeah, then he just sitting there, and so Mama took the pan and walked on over and squatted down, and he climbed over, and she scraped it all off into the cat bowl, and he climbed on down and went to town, and the cat went and joined him.
All right. What happened? Where's the lizard now?
No, he passed. This is when I was a teenager. This is a long time ago. I think it was a good 30 years back.
Okay. Would you consider getting one again?
I did get another one again.
Oh, really?
And it was totally a different animal. I mean, untrainable. I mean, it was basically a wild lizard. I mean, it had no personality. It didn't have any of the crazy, strange, house pet qualities that the other one had. So it was just like that.
Did you raise the second one from a hatchling?
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah. So it's like anything. It's like any other pet. You just don't know what you're going to get.
Right. It's like a person.
Yeah.
Right. Might look the same, different personalities.
Yep. Big or small, pet or not, what is your best story involving an animal? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Chris. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
So, you cracked me up.
Oh, thank you, man.
Thank you. It's awesome. So when I was 10 or 11, and I grew up on a small farm, and the neighbor down the road had some wiener pigs. Those are the little babies, right?
A wiener pig. Is that a type of pig, or does that just mean it's a small pig?
It's I'm sorry?
Is a wiener pig a type of pig, or is that just what you call a small pig?
It's a small pig. It's when they've been weaned.
Okay. I got
I'm looking at them right now.
I thought you meant like a wiener dog.
They're wiener pigs.
Okay, that makes sense.
I've never heard of that.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just the young pigs when they're old enough to leave the sow.
Okay.
And so I talked my dad into buying me a couple of those. I was going to raise us a couple of pigs, and but he told me, he says, all your responsibility. And so I took it on because I wasn't a stranger to taking care of livestock. So one of my pigs got sick and died, and then there's just the one. And one day I go out to feed that pig, and usually when you pour their slop into the trough, you know, they're happy. They just get up and run right over.
Sure.
Dinner time, and this pig, he gets up, lets out a squeal, and sits back down. And he gets up again and lets out a squeal, and he sat back down. And I was like, oh, crap. Now my other pig's going to die. And so it turns out the end of a pig's tail has hair on it.
Okay.
And there was like a ball of mud on the end of this pig's tail. And it had got caught in between the planks of the floor of their pen.
Oh,
his poor little tail was stuck down there in between the planks. Every time he tried to stand up and pull on his tail, he'd sit back down.
Well, at least he didn't die.
Good news is, the good news is he lived to be a nice fat pig and made some really good bacon.
Okay.
Oh, dang.
Nice.
Okay. What was the name of your bacon?
That's why you do it. That's why you do it, right?
Well, I guess so.
Yeah.
Hadn't thought of that. What did you name the pig?
Oh, you don't name it if you're going to eat it.
Okay. That's what I wanted
right.
to know. Damn. That's not where I thought that would go.
Yeah. Hormel. Big or small, pet or not, what is your best story involving an animal? 206-803-ROCK.
I think I could raise an animal and name it and still eat it.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the animal?
A cow.
I don't know, man.
What do you name it? T-bone.
Angus.
Chili.
Chili. Yeah. I guess it
I mean, if
depends.
I had a pig, I'd name it like Oscar Mayer. Or,
Something. Yeah.
What about stick?
Stick? Oh, for beef stick?
Yeah.
Okay. Damn stick. Hello, Josh. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, how you guys doing? When my boys were little, we just got back from Disneyland. We got these the Build-A-Bears, you know.
Yeah.
They have the little boxes in them that say phrases or whatnot when you squeeze them. So one of the boys got a husky, and we had a little English Springer Spaniel. One day we look over, and here's the Springer Spaniel going to town on this little husky, and phrase inside it. He kept saying, I love you.
No.
I love you. It was quite funny.
Somebody got cell phone footage.
No, it was before that.
Damn.
I wish I would have, though.
You think they'd put that on America's Funniest Home Video?
what is on this thing? What is
I
going
love
on?
you. I love you.
Big or small, pet or not, what is your best story involving an animal? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Matt. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hola.
How you guys doing today?
Doing great, man. Thank you, brother.
Outstanding.
I got to add first before I tell the story, but the guy a couple stories ago was talking about having raising pigs. I had a cow when I was growing up. I named it Sirloin.
No.
Did you really?
Nice. Did you eat it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Don't be stupid. It's in the name.
Sirloin.
Did it bug you at all to eat this cow you'd raised, or you just like, hey, that was your name, this is what we're doing?
No, this is how we grew up on the farm, you know.
Okay. Was it tasty?
Yeah, it was. It was very good.
Okay.
Made some great ribeyes. Anyhow, so I got chased by a bison once. And this is like 24 years ago.
Why were you being chased by a bison?
So I was new in wildland fire, and it was like third season in. I was still working seasonally, so in the wintertime I'd do something else. So I'd go work for a tree trimming company, and we send around power lines.
All right.
Well, we had a storm come in. This was 2001. Dumped like the day before, it got like 90 degrees, and then it rained, and then it froze. So it was like an inch solid ice, and then dumped like 3 to 4 feet of snow on top of this. Took out power lines, all sorts of stuff. So we go to start cleaning up, and I get assigned to this cross-country crew. I'm sitting in this national park that I know has got a buffalo herd, and I didn't see him, and it's kind of almost like a prairie in certain spots up on the ridge lines, usually trees and whatnot, but I had to walk a mile and a half out to this headquarter building and start following the power line another 7 or 8 miles. Start off in the morning. I get about a mile in, and all of a sudden my boss is up on top of the truck yelling at me from back on the highway. I look back, and I see a buffalo out there. I'm in snowshoes and 3 foot of snow. And, I've got a chainsaw, I've got a pack with me, there's not much else I can do. I found out that bison can run through snow a lot faster than I can.
Yeah, but
they're built for it. I'm surprised you weren't on cross-country skis.
No, that wouldn't have worked with the weight that we were carrying for, what you're carrying for your warm winter clothes, your chainsaw, your extra fuel, everything. Yeah, it wouldn't have worked.
So what do you do when you realize that the bison, one, can outrun you for certain in snow? How far do you have to go?
Well, I went probably about another quarter of a mile as best I could. Start up my chainsaw and figured, you know what, if this is going to be it, I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to play Olay, like charging bull, and try to hit it with the chainsaw if I can. Never got to that point. The chainsaw scared it. But I also found out when they run downhill, they tumble.
Oh, really? So they don't keep their crap together?
Right, because their front end's so heavy. When they start charging, they'll actually tumble and slide.
Jackass.
I know. It's like a giant panda coming your way.
Dumbass.
How am I supposed to take you seriously when you can't even stand up, dude?
So they get chased by a bison and run downhill.
Who Sucks Less is coming up at 4:30, and we've got your emails on the way next to the men's room at KISW.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth. For a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Fly Condor Airlines non-stop to Frankfurt and connect effortlessly to most European destinations. Relax and start your vacation in comfort. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today and book your next adventure.
Bosch's innovative power tools make you feel like a Bosch. Like when you pile drive screws and bolts with the 2-in-1 impact driver, you'll feel like
Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh, yeah.
Or when you powerfully blast through concrete with the Bulldog rotary hammer, you'll feel
like I have the power!
And when you make buttery smooth cuts with the Glide Miter saw, you'll feel
Scooby-Doo-Bebop smooth, baby.
What he said. With expertly engineered power tools, the more you Bosch, the more you feel like a
Bosch.
The Toyota Tundra and Tacoma are designed to outlast and outlive, backed by Toyota's legendary reputation for reliability. So get in a Tundra with the available iForce Max hybrid engine, delivering exceptional torque and towing capacity. Or check out a Tacoma. With available off-road features like crawl control, it can take you beyond the trails. Toyota trucks are built to last. So don't wait. Get yours today. Visit buyatoyota.com for deals and more. Toyota, let's go places.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth. For a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several European cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation and make it even more memorable by offering comfortable and spacious cabins where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Coming up here at 4:30, the return of Who Sucks Less. But first time for a few emails to the men's room at KISW.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
And a couple from our question, big or small, pet or not, what is your best story involving an animal? Gentleman was hiking, needed to take a leak, went off of the trail, started going. I hear a deep vroom come out of nowhere, and I look down at my junk and see a hummingbird 6 inches away from it. It looks at my stream, looks at me, looks back at my stream, then flies 20 yards away. At this point, I'm still going, because as we know, you can't stop midstream. Then it flies back at my junk, stops again for a few inches away. I said, dude, I don't mind giving you a golden shower if it'll make you get away from my stuff there. Thankfully, I didn't, and after that, it flew off. I was just standing there in disbelief. That from Silly Philly Tim.
At that point, it's just weird. Like, what are you doing, man? You got your own
Is that sugar water?
Yeah.
Guys, on a fishing trip a long time ago to a lake, fishing when we got bored and started using our wrist rocket slingshots. We had a bunch of steel balls for ammo. In a really mossy area, saw a couple turtles dive into the water, and as I looked to the other side of the boat, there was a water moccasin snake trying to get into the boat. I quickly grabbed a steel ball, loaded it, pulled back, and let it go. Pegged the snake right in the open mouth and took the top of its head off. Lucky shot. Can never do that again.
Nice.
That from the Elk Plain Drifter. Snake killer. Oh, let's see here.
That a boy.
Yeah, very good. What else? Oh, okay, birthday time. Brought to you by Men's Room Roasted Red Salsa from San Juan Salsa Company.
Tip responsibly.
Today's my beautiful daughter, Lena's 14th birthday. I was hoping she could get a fart montage and Mickey and Goofy telling her the best way to enjoy her teenage years. Cheers, bitches. That from Zach.
Well, gosh, you're a teenager now. No better way to enjoy your time every summer. Beg your parents to take you to Disney World. And think about it. Each year it gets a little bit more expensive and the lines get a little bit longer. But you know what that means? A better chance of meeting me and Mick.
And make sure you come all the way down to Disney World. Not Disneyland, Disney World, where you can stay on property because it's super affordable. Dad won't mind.
Guys, I know it's a short notice. My boyfriend's birthday is today. And I did not know and never heard of the men's room until I believe like 2 weeks ago. All right. So, hey, new listener anytime. We'll take it. Can you give a dirty German birthday shout out to my Viking Elliot? He is a thick boy. Tell him it's from his sweet angel baby. Thank you, guys. He loves you very much.
Yeah, I wasn't that interested until I heard that A, you're a Viking, and 2, you are thick. When I get down with the Viking men, I like them thick so they can sit on my... I can't find a rhyme.
Yeah, it's the craziest thing is people know a lot about the Vikings. Tonight you find out about the Viking foursome. Yeah, it's exactly what you think.
Is that the purple people eaters?
There's a few things going on there, mostly the head slap.
Okay. But y'all, long time.
Which head?
That's how you're going to get in 2 plays. Long-time listener, first-time emailer. I seem to forget to email again every year, but after 42 trips around the sun, I finally remembered. Guys, congrats on 20 years and doing all that you do for making us laugh every day. How about a big old Leroy Jenkins? The Dirty Germans taking time off work. And everyone talking all over themselves about keeping the car running. Keep on rocking, guys. That from Elliot.
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, I never take time off from work. I simply get off at work. Yeah.
Come on. Yeah. So, sometimes when I take the time off, because I know I'm still getting paid, I do the same thing. I sit at home all alone and just, thank you, work, for paying me to do this.
Yeah. I sit in stall 3.
Yeah.
Good. Keeping the car running. What car are you talking about?
Oh, man.
Talking about your real car?
It really depends. That's the car I got right now. Every day the thing starts like crap.
You gotta take it in
freaking annoying everybody. But it's like clockwork. You got to warm her up. Let her sit there a little bit. She runs, and then she runs fine.
Gentlemen, my brother Gabe is 51 years old today. How about a fish sandwich medley? And talk all over each other about NASCAR. Thanks, guys. That from Tracy.
Can I get
a fillet of fish sandwich?
So you know I got
I'll have a fish sandwich.
Oh, brother, can I have a fish sandwich? Put the cheese and the tartar on the side.
I'll order a fish sandwich.
Is it too early for a fish sandwich? Cheese and tartar on the side. Oh, yeah. I smell the fish sandwich. Maybe some relish in the morning. At noon. And at night.
Can I buy you a fish sandwich? So you don't want a fish sandwich?
Ironically, as far as NASCAR goes, just keep having this conversation today about Winston
drivers coming in. They don't care about cars. They don't know how to work on them.
It's pretty amazing.
Winston's worst cigarette ever in history is cigarettes.
That's all we
Cigarettes
ever
supposed to be
say.
delicious.
Those guys don't care about the cars.
Guys, today's my mom, Lori's 65th birthday. She's the best mom and nana in the world. I know she would love her. Your penis is too small. And the Dirty Germans telling her all about the trouble that she can get into once she retires next month. Thank you, guys. That from Paris.
Yeah, now you simply have more time to do all the things that you didn't tell your children you were into.
Yeah, and it's funny because you retired means you're leaving something, walking out the door. And when that door closes, the back door opens.
Yeah.
It's another door opens.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it? It's America.
Okay, yeah. All right, guys, here you go. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
No! This episode is brought to you by Progressive. Most of you aren't just listening right now. You're driving, cleaning, and even exercising. But what if you could be saving money by switching to Progressive? Drivers who save by switching save nearly $750 on average. And auto customers qualify for an average of 7 discounts. Multitask right now. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $744 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Discounts not available in all states and situations.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation. Trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you, committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several European cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation and make it even more memorable by offering comfortable and spacious cabins where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
Oh, this Bosch miter saw really is smooth.
Feeling smooth.
Who said that?
It's your inner Bosch, baby. I'm that scoobity-bebop smooth feeling you get when you make smooth cuts with that moobity-mibbity-mibbity-mubbity miter saw.
So I'll just keep ski bop sawing then? Now you're getting it. Beep bop beat up wow, might have saw is my
The
favorite.
more you Bosch, the more you feel like a
If you're an experienced pet owner, you already know that having a pet is 25% belly rubs, 25% yelling, drop it, and 50% groaning at the bill from every pet visit. Which is why Lemonade Pet Insurance is tailor-made for your pet and can save you up to 90% on vet bills. It can help cover checkups, emergencies, diagnostics, basically all the stuff that makes your bank account get nervous. Claims are filed super easily through the Lemonade app and half get settled instantly. Get a quote at lemonade.com/pet and they'll help cover the vet bill for whatever your pet swallowed after you yelled, drop it.
Oh, the men's room wants to know who sucks less?
Hey, time for Who Sucks Less. Steve the Thrill Hill, you bring us 3 stories from the news each and every week. They always suck, but it's up to us to determine, out of the 3 stories, which one sucks the least. Now, if you happen to like KISW on Facebook, X, and Instagram, the debate is already underway on Who Sucks Less.
Yes, indeed. And like we said at the top of the show, 3 very different stories. Pick where you urinate, leave sand as reindeer alone, and finally, maybe come up with a different idea of what a prank is. But let's start with the registered sex offender. No, he didn't do anything sexy. Instead, he urinated into the holy water in a Pennsylvania church. This according to investigators, who's charged a 51-year-old suspect for desecrating the sanctuary. I think that's fair. Now, police say that when Jesse Skoll, brother, entered the St. Patrick Catholic... Yeah, it's just Jesse Skoll, I'd add that. He entered the St. Patrick Catholic Church in lovely York, Pennsylvania, and wandered about the building, which was unlocked and open to the public. Now, after browsing through the lost and found box in the church vestibule, Skoll, brother, he approached the pedestal containing the holy water. Now, the police officer who prepared the affidavit, he noted that the pedestal, quote, is considered an object of veneration, in case you didn't know that. But anyway, and that Skoll desecrated it by polluting it with urine. And the incident, by the way, was recorded by a security camera. Now, a church worker, I love this, did confirm that the holy water was contaminated with urine. They don't specify how he reached that conclusion, but let's just hope that he watched it. Anyway, Skoll was identified as the suspect following a review of his prior booking photos. He was arrested for all kinds of things way back in the day. He just kind of carries it with him. Anyway, according to his court records, his rap sheet includes convictions for theft, criminal trespass, reckless driving, disorderly conduct, and driving without a license. Now he can add desecrating a sanctuary to the list. Damn. So rolling to the church.
Maybe, do you think maybe he did not know it was holy water? I mean, do they label it? Is it something that says holy water on it, or was it like just like a pot of water?
If it was in the church and it was, yes.
You're inside.
It's
You're
very
inside.
tell. It's very obvious that that's holy.
To me, it's like when someone steals your lunch out of the work refrigerator and they say, "I didn't know it was yours." It's like, but you know it's not yours.
Did your church have holy water?
All churches have holy water when you walk in.
They're just
Okay.
they're little displays.
So it looks like
There's different, and some churches will have different ones around. Like you just know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
There's
gotcha.
water fountain. Yeah,
Gotcha.
You know it's not a place to pee.
Correct.
Whatever you thought it was,
okay,
you
that's
know
what I
you
was
don't
asking.
be there. Yeah. Now we go to Alaska, where a community they're in mourning after a beloved reindeer died just weeks after a masked person sprayed him with a suspicious liquid, and an act that authorities have not yet been able to decipher. So Anchorage's famous reindeer, Star 7, who led parades and cultural events as the unofficial mascot of the city, well, was put down following deteriorating health just weeks after he was sprayed and hurt by a masked figure. So, according to reports, trouble began in January when some had tampered with the chain link fence to Star's enclosure near downtown Anchorage. Now, shortly after, Star felt sick and began losing weight, concerning Star's owner, one Albert Whitehead, who assumed the Star's rumen, that's the bacteria-filled stomach that helps reindeer digest food, just may have been disturbed. So soon after, on February 20th, security footage captured a masked figure jump into Star's enclosure and let the 8-year-old male reindeer out onto the streets of Anchorage. Now, the footage shows a person wearing dark clothing opening Star's enclosure and leading him onto the streets. However, the following night, another masked figure in a similar getup approached the animal and sprayed him in the face with an unknown substance. So the owner, he witnessed this unfold on the surveillance cameras, and he rushed outside to confront the man, yelling at him to stop and leave the reindeer alone. Said he chased the guy for a little while, but he lost him a few blocks away. Well, the Anchorage police, they said to the local paper, it did not know how many people were involved in hurting Star and has no leads on who was responsible. However, the department said it assumes that the same person who let Star out of the enclosure was the one who later sprayed him with a liquid. And again, they still don't know what the liquid was. So now, in the days that followed that, Star was diagnosed with pneumonia, respiratory distress, and rumen issues, and fell so ill that Whitehead, the owner, considered euthanizing him just to relieve him of his misery. However, treatment program from the veterinary clinic helped Star's condition improve, and Whitehead believed Star would be able to fully recover. Unfortunately, 2 weeks later, things took a turn for the worse. Star's condition started deteriorating again, and eventually they had to take Star down. Now, as far as the exact cause of Star's death, it says it's not going to be known until they do a necropsy, and even then, they're still not sure. They think it may have been an aerosol spray can. They're just not sure. Wow. So, for whatever reason, someone just kept targeting this reindeer for no reason that anyone knows. This seems unnecessary. It was Chris Kringle's it. All right. Now.
Sorry. That's just so stupid.
It is. Now we have the story. A young woman returned home this past weekend. She was met by a man with his face obscured, but his lower body on full display as he hid in her shower armed with a knife. Now, the man, who's an ex-boyfriend, claimed that it was a prank. So 25-year-old Jackson Arnold of Seabrook Island, he was arrested earlier this week and charged with assault and battery of a high and aggravated nature, first-degree burglary, and weapons possession after assaulting a 24-year-old woman. So it's just before midnight on May 3rd when a woman returned home to change clothes, then walk over to the adjacent home where her family lives. So she literally lives next door to her family. But she was confronted by a 6-foot-tall man holding a knife by his head, which he had covered with a pair of women's black shorts and a baseball cap. He was wearing neither pants nor underwear. As you might imagine, the woman screamed. Well, the masked man pushed her toward the door and imitated slicing her throat with a knife, though he didn't make contact with her skin. He then dropped the knife and grabbed the woman by her neck and strangled her. Now, the woman's vision grew foggy and she struggled for air, but while the struggle ensued, she was able to rip the shorts from the man's face and quickly realized it was Arnold, who said it was all just a prank. Well, she diffused the situation, told Arnold she needs to go next door because her mom's probably going to be worried since she likely heard the struggle. Well, instead, she went next door, told her parents, and called 911. As you might imagine, officers with the Charleston Police Department, they arrived to arrest him. Now, Arnold told officers that he'd entered the woman's home unannounced in an attempt to surprise her by scaring her, which proved to be true. It was unclear how he entered the property, but it was noted that the front door was locked, but the side door could be opened with slight force. Anyway, once he entered the home, he chose to hide in the shower until the woman arrived. Officers weren't able to locate the knife, but they did find a box cutter, which is probably the weapon, in his duffel bag, which they found in the front yard. Those are your lovely stories for the day. We have the guy that peed into the holy water at a church. We have some guy, for reasons no one knows, kept messing with the reindeer to the point they had to put it down. And finally, this guy, the ex-boyfriend, hiding half naked in a shower with a knife to scare his ex-girlfriend.
I mean, in theory, if I had somebody's pee on my finger and touched my head, would that... I mean, it's gross, but I don't know that it would make my forehead break out or anything, right?
Probably not.
You're not drinking the holy water.
No.
Okay,
You
yeah,
literally,
okay.
dude, you just dab your finger... fingers in it, and do the sign of the cross.
Okay, all right, okay, okay.
You've been to a church.
No, but we didn't do that. We weren't Catholic.
Yeah, it's a Catholic church.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just think, I mean, that is super gross, but I don't know. That's a tough one. Obviously, the guy in South Carolina sucks the most. But then, look,
man.
I think it's horrible what happened to that reindeer. But again, no human was hurt.
No human was hurt. Best we know, yeah.
This guy just had a beef with the reindeer. And then again, like I'm saying, he peed in the holy water in the church, but I don't know that me just putting my finger in there and tapping it to my forehead would make me sick.
So, like, even if you found out after the fact, like, that's gross, but all right.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want anybody's bodily fluids on you.
That is correct.
I just don't. I mean, I guess if you had a cut on your forehead,
sure,
that could make it worse. But that's what I'm kind of trying to decide between those two. You know what? I'll say that guy sucks the least because you know, if you believe in heaven and hell, somewhere along the line, he's going to have to atone for that.
Karma comes back.
And the guy that was hiding in the shower.
You think God would be like, seriously,
Yeah,
man?
come on, man.
I mean, seriously.
He choked his girl when she was on the floor.
Yes.
To the point of.
See, that's the thing in the story.
I mean, it's
When
more
you-
than you're not joking when you're choking someone out.
You ain't joking when
Sorry.
you be joking.
Yeah, I mean, like that's not a joke. So obviously, I think in this case, it's the holy water. Hopefully, they can buy some more someplace.
You just have to bless it.
Replace. Oh, all right. So it's like a kosher thing.
It's like the kosher.
Yeah, we'll just pour it out and bless it. That's easy enough. Debate continues on Who Sucks Less. If you like KISW on Facebook, X, and on Instagram. All right, coming up at 5:08. We will drink and toast with the shot of the day. You are listening to The Men's Room.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive. Most of you aren't just listening right now. You're driving, cleaning, and even exercising. But what if you could be saving money by switching to Progressive? Drivers who save by switching save nearly $750 on average. And auto customers qualify for an average of 7 discounts. Multitask right now. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $744 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Discounts not available in all states and situations.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation. Trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you, committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Fly Condor Airlines non-stop to Frankfurt and connect effortlessly to most European destinations. Relax and start your vacation in comfort. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today and book your next adventure.
Bosch's innovative power tools make you feel like a Bosch. Like when you pile drive screws and bolts with the 2-in-1 impact driver, you'll feel like
Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh, yeah.
Or when you powerfully blast through concrete with the Bulldog rotary hammer, you'll feel
Like I have the power!
And when you make buttery smooth cuts with the Glide Miter saw, you'll feel
Scoobity-bee-bop smooth, baby.
what he said. With expertly engineered power tools, the more you Bosch, the more you feel like a
Bosch.
You don't just live in your home. You live in your neighborhood as well. So when you're shopping for a home, you want to know as much about the area around it as possible. Luckily, Homes.com has got you covered. Each listing features a comprehensive neighborhood guide from local experts. Everything you'd ever want to know about a neighborhood, including the number of homes for sale, transportation, local amenities, cultural attractions, unique qualities, and even things like median lot size and a noise score. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill.
All right, so coming up at 5:08, we will drink and toast with the shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check-in with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Well, thank you, Miles. A new study has found that more women are attracted, are you waiting for this, to bald men.
Nice. Is it because they have less and less choice?
Ooh.
You know, everyone's shaving their head now, myself included, so at this point, like, well, that is what is being offered.
Sure. Well, we made it look good.
Yeah, but
That's what we did.
you're not bald.
I'm bald.
You shave, but you could grow your hair.
Well, no. My hair is just...
No, look at his hairline.
Yeah, I mean,
See what that line's
okay,
at?
okay.
I got
All right.
nothing there, man.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, I could technically grow some hair out, but
It's not where you want it.
right. I'd have a weed patch on the top of my Caesar
Gotcha,
ring,
gotcha.
but that's about it.
I'll say, like, I can grow hair, just mostly in my ears
I think
and
my
nose.
forehead goes halfway to the back of my head anyway. If I
Is
shave,
that a comb forward?
it's pretty much.
All right, give it up, Miles. Join the
That's
team.
right, that's right.
Come on,
Yeah,
man.
he's isn't far enough back.
Yeah, true enough.
It's getting close.
There is a certain line, though.
Yeah, my hair was just so thin up on top. It is up there still, but it's so thin up there. It might as well not be.
I have one cousin still holding on to it. It just looks ridiculous.
Dude, stop.
Come on, man.
You're embarrassing yourself.
Yeah, right?
There's a new issue that people are finding with big windmill farms. People stealing each other's wind.
Their power or their wind?
Their wind. So they talked about this, that they would build windmill farms and they were decently close to each other. You know, so you and I are building windmill farms close to each other.
All right.
That when the wind comes through, it's going to come through me, right? So I'm facing this direction. I take all that wind, but as it's going through my turbines, the wind is slowing down. It doesn't have near as much power.
Sure.
So by the time it gets to yours, it's not turning your turbines.
Well, am I stealing it, or did you build in the wrong place? Or are people
There's a
intentionally
little
building
bit
it?
of both of
Okay,
that.
yeah.
There's a little bit. Because the thing is, those things turn. So you're only stealing it from one direction.
Yeah, that's it. Whatever direction the wind blows.
Right.
That's it.
So, it's all for the good. Let's just settle down on that for a little
If
bit.
that's the problem they've got, I used to splice my neighbor's cable. I mean, come on. Well,
those were the days.
Based on the technology, Miles, you did the same thing. Based on the technology they had, if you had a cable, you could splice your neighbor's cable.
There you go.
Yeah, and we did.
Need a power splitter.
And much like the wind power, it kind of degraded the signal, but
Sure.
it was better than nothing.
But you could still see it.
Cinemax still came in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, right.
Yeah.
They should put a wind turbine on top of this building based on where we are.
Oh, absolutely, dude. All four of these should have
They
them.
could power the whole damn building.
You're damn
it's
right.
windy
they
as
could.
hell out there.
Just keep on rolling.
Yeah.
We should have a windmill farm out there at the port.
We're in a vortex.
Come on now. There's a forum on Reddit that's finding out that more couples experiencing doubt on their wedding days might actually be foreshadowing a failure in the future.
You don't say.
So it wasn't saying, you get cold feet or you get nervous or even do just feel those doubts. A lot of people do. In fact, most people do at some point. It's a weird thing. It's a big commitment that you're stepping to when you jump up to the altar.
The person.
However, they're looking at really examine the things that you're doubting while you're up there. Like,
those things aren't going to stop.
Right.
Can I live with the things I already know?
Exactly.
That's all it is, right?
I actually told my wife early on in our relationship, I said, there's going to come a point where these little quirks that we have that we think are cute about each other is going to drive us nuts about each other.
Drive you bonkers.
A few years down the line.
But also you get to the point you tune it out.
Yeah. It's to be expected.
Yeah, like I know what you're going to say or do or whatever the case might be. Like you just zone out.
Right.
I don't care.
Either it is going to change or it's not going to change. And if it's not, you learn to live with it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think everybody naturally on your wedding day would have some nerves.
You
sure.
would think so.
Yeah. But what they're saying is that might not just be cold feet. That might be actually like, oh no, this is going to fail.
Well, like you said, it really depends what it is you're worried about.
Right.
She keeps skinning cats. You go, okay, maybe, right? Maybe don't do it. I'll look past it. Maybe don't do it.
Because everybody ideally would like to get married once in their life. And so when you get up there, it's like,
oh, man.
Did I shoot right?
Right.
So you can't know until you get there. All of a sudden, when you get down the line, all of a sudden you're looking at that other stuff like, yeah, I should have seen that one coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, again, right, you could go to as many weddings as I have, right? I mean, it's got to be 30-some. I was in 23. There's only a few I remember being like, I don't know if these people should be getting married.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
And they didn't last.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
Of course
I mean, then there's other ones, too, where you have no idea and somebody does something in the marriage where it's like, oh, okay.
Didn't see that.
Right. Yeah. That one imploded.
Yeah, well, it's hard to predict people stepping out on each other.
Yeah, exactly.
You can predict two people that are just...
Right, you guys are just not good for each other.
Right. That couple that's always fighting, it's like, well, we're still going to get married. It's like, all right.
Okay. Yes, you are.
You love that fight.
Yeah. 1 in 3 young adults in their 30s has hidden knee damage. Good news,
I
all
can
my
believe
fellows.
that.
Yeah.
If your knees are going, man, they start going early, too. You always know that.
That's what they're saying.
I mean, like, football in high school, man, screwed up my knees.
Right.
I know those guys.
No, it's the fact that you're fat in your 30s.
No, but they really did have screwed up knees. Like, they were hobbling
No,
around.
you can mess them up at that age.
Yeah, you really can.
Absolutely. 39% of Americans would donate an organ for a loved one. Only 39 is what I look at.
Damn.
Like, you must have sucky family. Either you're a bad person or your family's sucky if you're not willing to.
Is even loved one, right? There's no question how you feel about this person. Like,
you know, a good call.
Are kidneys really the only one you could donate?
You can do like lobes of the liver. You can.
I was going to say, you only have one liver, so I feel like if I donate that, I'd be in a lot of hurt.
Yeah,
right?
they set you up.
Yeah. There are things that you can donate.
I mean,
and you're right.
still,
It's limited. You know,
I just kidneys because you have two of them. It makes sense.
Bowel, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, there's limited options
I'll
of
give
things
you-
they can take, but like, yes, you can have it.
I'll give you a testicle. How's that?
All right.
Call it a day.
I mean, you could.
Yeah. Here, take it.
Ladies can,
Remember
give the egg sacs.
George Lopez, man, his wife gave him a kidney. Then he recovered, and then he promptly divorced.
About to say, didn't he leave her after
Damn,
that?
man.
Yep.
Thanks,
I thought he
baby.
got caught with a hooker.
Maybe.
Or did he just straight up leave her?
I know. I want to
swear
say
he
he
just
initiated the divorce. I'm not sure. Thanks for the kidney.
Why is nobody happy to see me on stage? A new study says merely contemplating art's beauty was found to boost abstract thinking and even big picture thinking.
Well, yeah, because you're standing there doing exactly that.
Right. You're
It's like
expanding your
saying
mind.
giving your kid a math problem helps their brain develop solving math problems. Like, well, yeah, you're physically doing that in that moment.
My only issue with art people is that, right? Like, art's in the eye of the beholder, right?
Absolutely.
And there's some artists, like my one buddy, I was just like, I just think his stuff is ugly. He's like, well, he's this and that. I'm like, yeah, okay.
But it's subjective.
But right, but it's like, for me, like, I just don't like it.
Yeah.
Right. It's kind of like the people with you with vegetables. Have you tried this? Have you tried that?
Yeah, look, I have no problem with them. I'm saying I don't like it. And people always say they're very healthy. Like, dude, I understand this.
Right.
My argument, I don't like that. And you're right, art, it's all subjectivity.
Right, I could fathom that artist is super famous. I just don't like it. I think it sucks.
Right. Even
Looks
you
like
can
a
tell me
5-year-old made it.
technique. You know, they do this technique, and I'm like, dude, I respect and appreciate it all. My point is that the end result of all these things that they've done that you're saying is incredible, visually, I find terrifying.
And I'll tell you what, you find out how many of those people that are puffing their chest about this art piece are lying about it when you get into the charity auction ballroom.
Oh, yeah?
And the artist is sitting right there in front row, and you hear from everybody about how this art piece is supposed to do really, really well, and then you can't find an opening bid for it.
Really?
Really?
God, how
He's
awkward is
sitting
that,
right
man?
there.
No.
Terrible.
He should put his paddle up.
Yeah.
A lot of the times, man.
Come on,
people.
Like
I
at that
would.
point, like I'll just make a donation to the charity. Like
It's like the
God.
tip jar. The first dollar in there probably came from the guy at the cashier. You know what I
I
mean?
hate every time they bring out an art piece because they always say the same thing. It's an up and comer. Everybody's asking about this one's going to do great. Like,
So you've never heard of them.
I've heard that before.
What percentage of the time is the artist there when you have to try
About
to sell
50% of the time. There's a handful of them where they are finishing the piece in the room. They're like painting a live portrait of the room.
Okay.
That one does well.
Sure, people saw you doing it like, okay.
My very first auction that I traveled for that was my nightmare situation where the artist was right there and I could not find $100 for this damn thing.
Oh, how big was the piece?
I mean, it was your standard, art pieces.
Like 5 by 7 or
Yeah,
something like
it's
that?
fine. Couldn't find anybody who wanted the damn thing. Yoink.
Yeah.
That's bad news.
And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of art I like.
Sure.
I'll just say it. The goddamn tomato soup cans.
What, Andy
Warhol?
Warhol?
Yeah.
Oh, you just...
Again, I just not my style.
Okay.
Damn it, he did really good on that.
Yeah.
But the soup, he's trying to convey the message of, like, dude, I hear you.
All right.
It does not appeal to me.
Yeah.
I do
If,
not
they,
care.
if he had done beef-a-roni,
Before.
Dude, have you ever considered? Right.
hey, Andy.
What are we talking about? So it could be any soup you wanted from Campbell's.
Chicken noodle.
People love soup.
Scientists in German. Has he done the chunky soup yet?
Yeah.
I mean,
Cream
did he
of
ever
mushroom
do
on there?
like a Del Monte?
Right.
Or not Del Monte, what's like the beef stew?
Denti Moore.
Denti Moore. Yeah.
Manwich.
I'm low budget. We got Denti Moore stews.
Scientists in Germany have developed a bioconcrete made from urine.
Hey, whatever works.
Just like the holy water.
But that begs the question, why? And in fact, there's a lot of questions, or a lot of inventions that bring that question to mind.
The Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10.
10 wacky inventions that should have never existed. How about we look at one that, in my opinion, seemed destined to be a future purchase of one Miles Montgomery, but never made it to the store shelves? Metal detector sandals. A stylish pair of supple sandals fit for any aging liver-spotted old sod. Complete with a copper coil in the sandal and a battery pack you wear around your calf. Now you too can comb the beach in comfort and elegance. You only need to supply your own black athletic socks to complete the look. And you too can discover bottle caps, and I'm certain your fair share of discarded hypodermic needles.
He's not wrong.
No, he's not. No, he is.
You also look like you're getting out of like your home confinement with your battery pack on your ankle.
Yeah, you do.
So these are 10 wacky inventions wacky inventions that should
Wacky
have
and
never
wild
been made.
Stuff.
Should have never existed, and they come complete with photo evidence, so this is going to be fun. They made a dog restraining device. This is humans domesticated dogs thousands of years ago, but it took until the 1940s for someone to create this mechanical monstrosity, an extendable arm to restrain man's best friend. Basically, it's kind of like a scissor lift. You remember those old cartoons that they had? It looked like garden shear handles, and it had that little accordion, that little lattice work, and it had a big old punching glove on the end of it. It's basically that, but it's grippers on your doggone dog.
Jesus God, man.
Here's the
That is
thing.
weird.
They invented the leash before this.
and they still thought this was a better idea.
We should go this direction.
Wow.
Okay. Feels like you could crush his little ribs.
Damn right you
It
could.
looks like you want to.
The Cat Mew machine, a Japanese invention. The Cat Mew machine was built to frighten away house rodents. With its 2-watt motor powering an automated mew and flashing cat eyes, this invention
Wow.
seemed custom built for people who've never heard of mouse traps.
Just get a cat.
Exactly.
That's what they're.
Well, maybe
that's what they do.
What if I'm allergic to cats, Miles? What if I don't like cats?
Yeah.
That just
Can't all have that weird hairless
Did your
one.
neck get all infected when you got scratched?
Oh no, it's fine. Just had to wash it out. We're good.
See, you're not allergic to cats.
No, I'm fine. The exploding rocket bike.
Exploding
So
rocket.
you ride
bike.
it, and then what? At the end of it, it just explodes on its own.
German engineer Richter Reckentenred in 1931 built a rocket bike that had 12 rockets mounted to its back wheel, giving it a whole lot of power. It says this allowed him to reach a speed of 90 kilometers per hour, or about 55 miles an hour, before it exploded and then threw him off the bike, where he suffered a few scrapes.
Wow. I mean, that was the design.
Basically, he strapped some mortar rockets
Yes, he
to the
did.
back of this
Wow.
doggone thing.
Good luck.
And just fired it down like Wile E. Coyote style.
That's like something a child would build.
That's exactly what a child would
That,
do.
you know, you're right. That is exactly what they do.
Dad, where'd we leave those fireworks? Hang on.
I'll get it for you.
The Mind Machine.
The Mind Machine.
Again, these are wacky inventions that should have never existed. The Mind Machine, humans are curious about brains and their workings, which led to this hulking unit's development. Seen here in 1907, the Lavery Electric Automatic Phrenometer supposedly measured brain activity. They say in reality, it just studied the way one's head is shaped. I don't know what exactly it was supposed to do, but it's just, it's this, it looks like the bottom half of a grandfather clock with that device that Doc
The
Brown
hair dryer
had.
thing or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, that Doc Brown had at the beginning of Back to the Future.
Oh, the big thing on his head, yeah.
Yeah. This damn thing doesn't work at all. Let's see here. Wacky inventions that should have never existed. The Donut Dunker. An anti-drip donut stick.
Come on.
Never get your fingers wet while devouring this scrumptious circular delight with the Donut Dunker. Russell E. Oakes, a man with much better table etiquette than I, came up with this one in 1955 to prevent donut mess.
How messy was he with donuts that he
I
felt
don't
the
know.
need to create? Look,
Like, it's a contraption. Like, you are not going to haul this anywhere that you're eating donuts.
No.
Does anybody actually dunk their donuts in coffee?
Yeah.
I mean, I will on
Oh, you
occasion.
do?
Yeah. Biscotti? Yeah.
Well, biscotti is designed for that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
The
It's-
donut.
And so is the Biscoff. But from time to
Well,
time,
so
the old-fashioned donuts.
Yeah, the cake donut has a
All right,
little
if you have
handle
a
on
cake
it.
donut,
Yeah.
I'm just
Oh,
saying-
you'll accept that.
yeah,
like-
but like a Krispy Kreme.
I don't
No,
think they
not a
need
Krispy
coffee.
Kreme.
It doesn't make sense.
No, I think with a Krispy Kreme, it'd end up like the raccoon's cotton candy. I think it would just
dissolve.
disappear in there.
I just think Dunkin' Donuts has been pulling the wool over our eyes, but I guess you guys do it.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, for me, it's the old-fashioned donuts. It just they taste a lot better through coffee. They're the best I've found with coffee.
Huh.
Yes, sir.
I just like to eat a donut, take a sip of coffee.
The Spaghetti Aid on the list of
Oh.
wacky inventions that should have never existed. Russell E. Oakes didn't stop at the donut dunker.
Oh,
no.
good.
Featured again in the Holton Archives' extensive collection with this Spaghetti Aid. This tool was designed to make it quote-unquote easier to demolish a nice bowl of spaghetti. By turning the lever, the fork would spin, winding the spaghetti strands around the metal. So basically,
So it's a spinner.
It's like
Yeah.
one of those old egg beaters that had the hand crank on it, only he put forks in there, and that's how you spun up your spaghetti. And that's a gank damn fork, too.
Yeah, that
I don't
know.
feel safe putting that thing in my mouth.
I do like that he just has like a wheel on it and you got to do it.
Right.
I mean, if I got to sit there and like it's like a fishing rod, at that point, is it taking any less time to spin it on my fork?
No.
By myself?
It's absolutely not. It's just you get more leverage that way.
All right.
The typing aid. It looks ridiculous, but this head strap contraption was developed to aid the disabled using a typewriter. And basically, it's a typing aid. It is a headband that you wear that has a wire that comes out in the front, and you can type on a typewriter.
Wow. If you need that, you type too much.
If you need that, you're a woodpecker.
Or you don't have arms and you need to be able to type.
Yeah, that's insanity.
Stephen Hawking, I'm sure, wrote a lot of great dissertations on that thing.
I don't
early
even
in his days.
Tell you what, though, it's good practice for her.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Damn, man. Robotic shaving arms. Yeah, 1957, these remote-controlled arms at use in a nuclear research facility were used to shave a man's face, demonstrating their dexterity and safety. Basically, if you've ever seen a laparoscopic machine, it's kind of the same practice there. So this guy is controlling these robotic arms in a different sector, and he is shaving a man's face.
Why not just use your arms?
just shave?
Exactly.
Shave.
The whole thing with the laparoscopic device is I can't be in your guts that easily, and it cuts down on the damage. I can walk up to your face and shave.
Yes.
He's making the same damn movements. Criminy. The Pulsar computer watch. With an LED screen and a calculator on board, this invention was more than just a sum of its parts. It's on display here at the International Watch and Jewelry Trades Fair at Wembley back in '77. And it's just a wrist calculator is all it is.
I kind of grew up with that crap.
Yeah, but that was high tech. Look at us. We're in the future.
It was high tech at the time. My brother got the first calculator I'd ever seen. And much like that watch, you still had a stylus that was connected to the calculator itself.
Yep.
By a wire, and you had to touch like the copper things. But we were like, this is the future.
And dude, I was going to say, when I got old enough to finally start using the T94 or whatever, the big calculator, and I was pumped.
Hell yeah. Damn right. That's the graphing calculator ones?
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like it did everything, but like you couldn't. My brother used it with my sister, but I couldn't use one until like 8th or 9th grade. And I was like, finally,
my
I
buddy
get stuff done.
My buddy put games on there. I had Super Mario on my
Really?
on my calculator.
That's cool.
I can play Mario on there. It was great. And then I'll leave you with this last wacky invention that should have never existed. However, I kind of disagree. It's kind of cool. Toshiba View Phone, they say. Sometimes you're just a way ahead of the curve. 40 years before the iPhone, Toshiba was tinkering with some ancient FaceTime tech in its Model 500 View Phone. They say, quote, while not in practical use, it's interesting to see that video communication was an idea being tinkered with this long ago. And basically, it's just a home unit that you have. It's got a camera on there that faces you, and you actually do get a camera that faces back.
I'll tell you what, man, I had a buddy that invested a lot of money in video phones, like right before FaceTime started.
Oh, yeah?
They were convinced that was the future.
Well, sure.
But you had no idea FaceTime and the iPhone was around the corner.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it was cool because
Sure.
you could talk to people long distance and see them.
Well, and how many of these inventions were like Star Trek or other sci-fi stuff just kind of made people think, what if we actually made that happen?
Yeah, make it happen. Make it so.
We go to
Star Trek
We go to Ohio where they say Rocket Raccoon has fallen on hard times, Miles.
Why is that?
I'll test your memory at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines are coming to 5:50. In the meantime, have we made it to drinking time?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Good time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve at Thrill Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed, and today's shot is brought to you by the fine folks of Black Raven Brewing, proud brewers of Men's Room IPA and the Men's Room 20th Anniversary Lager. Today, we toast 34-year-old Willie Farrell and 48-year-old Deandra Lysick of Hartford, Connecticut. Now, just yesterday, Willie and Deandra, they engaged in the sexual transaction known as prostitution. No big deal. They got down to business in Willie's car, but they were promptly interrupted by the police. You see, Willie parked his car at the Connecticut State Police Barracks. Even worse, the car itself was blocking the entrance. So these cops could not get in or out, so they rolled up to the car to realize they were having sex, to realize that it was a prostitution thing, and they were both arrested. Wow. But come on, Willie.
Wow.
Come on, man. Like I said, Mike, I say this all the time. You should get an additional 90 days for being stupid.
Yes.
For being stupid.
Willie, put the Willie away.
Come on, Willie. You better than this,
One
man.
eye.
Yeah. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy.
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies.
Down the hola, bichola. All right, it's going to get tested on the line for Profile This now. 206-803-ROCK. Profile This is next.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate, then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth. For a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With nonstop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation by offering comfortable and spacious cabins. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
Oh, this Bosch miter saw really is smooth.
Feeling smooth.
Who said that?
It's your inner Bosch, baby. I'm that scoobity-bebop smooth feeling you get when you make smooth cuts with that moobity-mibbity-mibbity-mubbity-miter saw.
So I'll just keep ski-bop sawing then?
Now you're getting it. Beep-bop-beep-bop, miter saw is my
The
favorite.
more you Bosch, the more you feel like a
Auto insurance rates are on the rise, which is why you should call Vern Fonk Insurance. Vern Fonk could save you up to 20% on your auto insurance. The pros at Vern Fonk will do all the work, comparing different plans to find you the best options. And they can insure you over the phone. One call to Vern Fonk could save you up to 20%. Call 206-408-5094. 206-408-5094.
Remember to honk when you drive by Vern Funk.
Restrictions apply based on a Q3 2023 study of Vern Fonk insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number 1070622. This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Fly Condor Airlines nonstop to Frankfurt and connect effortlessly to most European destinations. Relax and start your vacation in comfort. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today and book your next adventure.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation. Trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you, committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throwhill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story. Something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Brad. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, guys.
Hola, Brad. All right, Brad, you understand how this here game is played?
Yes, I do.
Fantastic. You have your choice of one of three stories today. We offer you the wonderful world of drugs. We offer you Bite Me. In other words, what did someone find in their food? And finally today, Animalize This, where you guess the animal responsible for causing the problem.
Let's do Animalize.
All right, a United flight from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, had to make an emergency landing on Sunday after an animal encounter. Shortly after takeoff, the 153 passengers on board, they heard a loud bang and felt, quote, a significant vibration. And outside of the windows, there were blasts of fire coming from one of the plane's engines. Well, the pilots got the plane down safely about 75 minutes after the fact. Now, the passengers, they were a bit shaken, but nobody was injured. The question is, what was the animal that clearly got sucked through the engine and exited as a fireball? Was it a goose? Was it a seagull? Was it a raccoon? Or was it a rabbit? So goose, seagull, raccoon, or rabbit? What got sucked into the engine?
Were they in the air?
According to this, it's shortly after takeoff. Shortly after takeoff, the passengers heard the loud bang, felt the vibration, and saw the sparks shooting out of the plane engines.
Where'd you say it was?
Alberta, Edmonton, Canada.
Yeah.
Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Thank you. I was like, did I say that right? Yeah.
Something like that.
Yes, you did not.
What do you think, Ted?
I mean, look, it's a plane, so obviously the goose or the seagull makes the most sense.
Yeah.
But it was shortly after takeoff, so it could be a raccoon. I think it's a raccoon that was holding on for dear life.
Brad, I'm taking the same thing. I'm going to go rabbit, though.
Going up, he slips his hands off and falls into the engine.
Yeah.
I'm going with the obvious, the goose.
Goose. Canadian goose. Okay.
Canadian goose.
What got sucked into the engine there shortly after takeoff? A goose, seagull, raccoon, or rabbit? We'll find out next.
That was a tease.
You are listening to The Men's Room.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With nonstop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation by offering comfortable and spacious cabins. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation. Trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you, committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today. And live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Categories analyze this on Profile This. We had North Canada, and an animal got sucked into an engine shortly after takeoff on a plane. Question is, what was the animal that got sucked in? I guess they had to turn the thing around, or did they just...
Yeah, they eventually landed 75 minutes later.
Okay. Was it a goose, a seagull, a raccoon, or a rabbit?
And Brad, that is a question we posed to you. Let us start with D. Ted Smith and the raccoon. It was not the raccoon.
All right, he's got hands.
Brad, you went with the goose because that makes the most sense. It was not the goose, even though that makes the most sense. And Miles, you went with the rabbit.
I did.
Because you hate rabbits.
I know a bunny killer when I see one.
And you are correct.
Nice, yes.
I don't know how high the plane was.
Kill the rabbit.
I don't know how high the plane was, but just the idea, it was after takeoff. So to your point, Ted, this rabbit was holding on for dear life.
As long as he could.
As long as he could. Got sucked in that bad boy, and that was it.
That was Elmer, right?
Yes.
Kill the rabbit? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now for all TV news, all-time time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, The Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today, you got the Jimmys,
Fallon and Kimmel,
Seth Meyers, Colbert,
Stephen,
Tomlinson,
Taylor,
Ted Smith.
There you go.
Ted, or is it late night?
It is right there to tell you these guys have teams of talents and writers help them come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
As people wait for a new pope to be chosen, people have to watch the Sistine Chapel chimney. For white smoke, that means a new pope has been chosen. Black smoke means no new pope yet. Anyone else get the feeling that Snoop Dogg and Willie Nelson came up with this idea?
Let's say The Ted Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was me. Still black. No new pope.
Man, find another one.
What's the guy's name? Pizza what?
Pizza Ball. Pizza Balla.
Pizza Balla. I want him, man. Pizza Balla?
Have you seen this guy?
I haven't looked at the odds on the new pope.
Okay, well, he is one of the guys in contention, and his last name is Pizza Bola.
I think it's just insane. When I grew up, there was
John Paul
the second.
Yeah, because he was around forever, man.
Right, and now it seems like we're getting new ones all the time. According to a new report, air traffic control in Newark Airport lost all communications with planes for over a minute. It's getting to the point where maybe we should clap when the plane lands.
Foul.
Yeah, foul.
Yeah, it's foul.
According to a new report last week, air traffic controllers at Newark lost all communication with planes for over a minute. It's getting to the point where we really should clap when the plane lands.
Developers of the video game Grand Theft Auto have delayed the release of its 6th installment. Apparently, in the beta testing, they couldn't get anyone to steal the Cybertrucks.
I'll say foul.
Foul.
Myers.
Developers of the video game Grand Theft Auto have delayed the release of its 6th installment. Apparently, during the beta testing, they couldn't get anybody to steal the Cybertrucks.
They pissed a lot of people off by pushing that off. They've been waiting forever for Grand Theft Auto 6, and then when they hear it, it's like, next year. Like, outrage.
Burger King is facing a lawsuit after alleging their Whopper hamburgers are smaller than advertised. Meanwhile, Burger King's legal defense is that the king has divine power and doesn't recognize any courts.
Needs that way.
Foul.
Hey, get this. I read that Burger King is facing a lawsuit alleging that their Whopper hamburgers are smaller than advertised. And meanwhile, Burger King's legal defense is that the king has divine power and doesn't recognize any courts.
Yeah, it's not smaller. It's just you, honey. All right. So last night, after taping a brand new The Podcast out now, started flipping around and I found a new show on A&E. I don't often go to the A&E well.
Yeah, I don't go there much, man.
This one's simply called Stadium Lockup.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Can you guess what it's about?
So the stadiums,
jails,
have the jails
and
about them.
stadiums.
All right, but it just follows one team.
Philly.
Nope. Philly was famous because they had an actual courthouse underneath the vet, right? They don't have it anymore. But every stadium has like little holding cells.
Yes.
Like I've had friends that have been in them for getting caught like underage drinking back in the day or whatever.
Dumb stuff. But yeah.
Philly was the only one that had a court. So it is kind of interesting. They call it Stadium Lockup. The Cleveland Browns.
Really?
Yeah. So honestly, I was kind of expecting more mayhem.
Yeah.
But I didn't think I'd watch the show and have this opinion of it, but like they do a really good job. Like there's like security and then there's like the actual cops.
Sure.
Right? But they also follow around like the EMTs, right? So there is EMTs all over a stadium at certain spots, and then they just have a couple dudes that just kind of float around.
Yeah.
And it's basically what you think, right?
Drunk and stupid.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, what else are they going to put you in? If you do something that bad, they're going to take your ass somewhere else. But I feel like you drank too much. You need to be here.
It's also kind of amazing when you watch that show, how many and look, it's a tough balance, right? We were talking about this on the podcast a few weeks ago. Alcohol is such a weird thing in our country, in most parts of the world, because a lot of these incidents are alcohol.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
But on the same token, it's like, it's everywhere, right? And it's part of the culture. It's like, go to the games, drink beers, you know? Some of them are just kind of old people falling over. Those ones aren't as exciting, except the one woman had fallen over and she had broke her wrist. So they're like, you need to go to the hospital eventually, but here's some Motrin. We'll put it in a sling. Right. And he looks at her and he goes, so we could stay for the second half? And she's like, and he's like, I'm kidding. But yeah, I was watching that.
He wasn't.
He tried.
No, he was not. Right.
But it is kind of that odd thing with booze all the time because it's everywhere. Not everybody, but a lot of people drink it. So they do a very good line, right? They know people are getting drunk.
Yeah.
They're also kind of smart, right? Like they jump from game to game. So the first one is the first game of the year, and they're like, people are going to be fired up.
Of course.
It's the Browns, though. So by halftime, they're already losing. And like the head of security, he's like, geez, we need to score a touchdown. Just keep it close. Because when the things start going bad.
Does it get worse?
It gets worse.
Or do people leave?
No, it gets worse because people, at that point, when your team's bad and you're losing,
yep,
people you're always going to have interactions with the opposing fans. But when your team sucks like the Browns do, those people start fighting with each other.
Okay.
Also, I want to give a lot of credit to some of these drunk dudes that got in these fights. Almost every episode, they don't end up pressing charges. Nobody really gets messed up too quickly.
Right.
But also, as somebody who, had to run in at an airport once, and I remember the woman just looking at me. She just pointed her finger over her mouth. It was like, shut up and sit down.
And you'll be fine.
Right. And it was fine. These drunk people, I watched a guy last night. He talked his way into getting arrested.
That's what happens when you're drunk. A lot of times.
And even credit, there's a couple cops there they show that, the one cop's just, you could tell he don't want to be there. He's just like, yeah, we help eject him. Also, don't vape in the seats. That's a lot of it. They're catching people vaping.
Yeah.
But I don't know if every stadium has this, but they have zero tolerance. So they're just like, no. This isn't a warning. You're out.
Right. Go on.
Plus, also, everybody knows that's what bathrooms are for.
Jesus.
But yeah, some of these drunk people just talk their way into it. Now, the good thing is, like I said, it's kind of a fun show. You see all the aspects.
Sure.
There is cameras everywhere in stadiums now.
Oh, yeah.
You can't get away with stuff. If you go to a Seahawks game, they're very strict on no tailgating in the north lot.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, there's cameras in the north lot, too. Try to tailgate. They're going to catch you. But also, at the end of every episode, they show a stat of how many people were there.
All right.
And you'd be shocked. They have a ton of interactions, and generally it's 15, 16 ejections.
That's not bad out of
one arrest.
70,000 people, right?
That's what I thought, too.
Yeah.
Because at first I was like, oh, this is going to put NFL fans in a bad light. That's what I'm saying. It's good. It's exciting. You can laugh at the idiots.
Sure.
The one guy, right, he got in a fight with somebody else, and then he just wouldn't stop running his mouth. They put him in the holding cell, and then he peed in there.
Oh, come on. So yeah. my question is, hopefully they'll address this later on, but when they kick someone out for good, like you are permanently banned from whatever the name of that stadium is, Paul Brown Stadium. How do they know if you don't buy a ticket in some other means, or your buddy's got a ticket for you on his phone?
All right, so here's the thing. Browns fans are very good fans, right?
Yeah.
So 95% of their stadium is season ticket holders. So that's what a lot of the interaction is. Even when people get thrown out for something as simple as vaping, and they realize, they're pissed, right? And I get it. You don't get a warning, you just get thrown out. But
also that's the rule.
And they will always ask the head of security. The one drunk guy was like, that's my buddy. I have the season tickets. And he's like, and they're straight up. They're like, look, if you got to leave with them because you're together.
Yeah.
But if you leave right now, then nothing else will happen.
Okay.
Because that's mostly and I get it, right? If you have season tickets, you don't want to get banned from the stadium.
No.
Miles, I don't know how they used to do it, but
Disney World does it. I understand their facial recognition.
The facial recognition is unreal. And then the other thing, too, is frankly, you don't even have to sweat the cameras in the stadium. It's every stadium puts that announcement at football. Text us this.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're vaping or you're cursing up a storm or whatever, you know what I mean? And with the cursing or whatever, they kind of give them a warning. But the
That's
vaping
fair.
or one guy was just puking his brains out. And then they're like, hey, you gotta
go, man.
Yeah. And then there was one chick that was hammered. They get a call. They go over. She is beyond hammered, right? And they're like, hey, we got to call a friend. You can't, basically, they're just we can't legally let you stumble out of here.
Okay.
Because you're going to fall and hurt yourself, maybe. And some of them just talk to the people and they go, or you could just sit down here. We'll give you water. And most of them are like, okay, I get it.
They're just sober.
This girl wouldn't stop. And she's like, my friend James. And then James shows up. And she's so hammered. She's like, I don't want to leave. I hate you, James.
Oh.
And after 5 minutes, they speed it up. But finally he goes, okay, I'll stay for the game. And she kept going, I want to get arrested. And the one head cop who's the captain, he's very good, right? He talks to people. And then he gets that tone of do not forget, I'm a captain in the police department. I am not security. And she's like, well, then arrest me. I'm tired of it already. Shoves him. And he's like, okay.
You got it.
Yeah. But, pretty good series. It also makes you realize how bad the Browns are. The head of security, he's always like, can we score so people don't get upset?
Nope.
And then, but they had a Thursday night game, and they're just like, here we go. It's the weekend. Nobody has to work tomorrow because it was around the holidays. They're like, people are going to be messed up tonight.
Yeah.
There's a halftime show with the lights going out. I'll tell you what else was interesting. They knew what YouTubers and Instagram kind of dudes were in their stadium. And they're like, look, they do these things. They run on the field. Sometimes they have agreements. We turn down their offer.
Okay.
So remember, a lot of stuff you see on the internet's not real. Sure. And he's like, we turned down their offer, but we know they're in the stadium. So, like, keep an eye on them.
Okay.
Damn. I watch all these shows, man. I like to catch a smuggler and this and that. Like, just
to catch a streaker.
Yeah, if you're in a stadium or an airport, A, there's probably a camera on you. Mm-hmm. B, forget the plainclothes cops. They have or the regular cops. They have plainclothes cops as well. Like, it's very hard this day and age to get away with that.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. We got Mother's Day coming up. Sometimes, you know what I mean? Traditionally, you take your mom to brunch,
Seems
and
like
maybe
the
you
thing.
watch a movie with old mom. So this is a good list of the best movies to watch with your mother on Mother's Day. What would you guys watch with your mom on Mother's Day?
Monster-in-Law.
What's that?
Monster-in-Law.
Oh, damn.
Monster-in-Law. All right. Didn't make the list.
Replay of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Yeah,
that's not a
I know she would like the
bad call
marching
there.
bands, all the stuff.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I'm trying to think of good mom movies.
I mean, this is just me, but I'll tell you one movie my mom and I love is Blue Streak
Okay.
with Martin Lawrence. You ever seen it, Mike?
No, sir.
Oh, underrated comedy.
All right. I like Martin Lawrence. He's funny.
Yeah. Stepmom's on the list. Mommy Dearest.
Mommy Dearest with your mother on Mother's Day?
That's deep.
The Parent Trap.
Ooh, Mrs.
Okay.
Doubtfire.
Parent Trap was fun.
Pride and Prejudice.
No.
Jeez.
Lady Bird.
I don't know that. Is that a Barbara Streisand movie? That sounds like
It's from
some shit.
2017. It might have been a
probably not.
remake.
You're Googling Lady Bird. It just sounds like something I
Bird.
don't want to see.
Movie.
I mean, I can remember from my childhood a movie my mom would watch all the time was Steel Magnolias.
Still Magnolias.
Mongolians.
Still Mongolians.
It does not look fun. It's a rated R movie.
I bring the beef.
Lady Bird, a fiercely independent teenager, tries to make her own way in the world while wanting to get out of her hometown of Sacramento, California, and to get away from her complicated mother and
No.
recently unemployed father.
Can't watch it. No.
God.
Yeah, I don't
Mamma
wanna watch
Mia.
it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Here's the bottom line. Honestly, just suck it up. If you're going to watch a movie with mom, watch one of the crappy ones she likes.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
Whoever
gonna-
hot guy is, just watch a movie with that.
Exactly.
Dude in it. Let her have her moment.
Who's your mom's hot guy, Miles?
Oh, God, I don't know. I mean, I mean, I'm sure she's got an answer if I ask her.
I'm sure.
Well,
probably
my
somebody-
mom has Tom Selleck. Thurl's mom, of course, has the Gecko. Which God, man, who told you that?
Well, back in the day, she used to like Burt Reynolds, but I mean, he's kind of a
Sure.
no longer around. But
You could still, Burt Reynolds would still be her guy, even though Burt's not around.
yeah, she liked him.
It doesn't make me like Susan Sarandon any less that
I
she
know
passed
this to be
away.
true.
You know?
Yeah,
Susan
she
Sarandon,
did.
She's still alive. Susan Sarandon?
Suzanne Summers.
Oh,
not
yeah,
Susan Sarandon. What am I talking about?
Wait a minute, dude,
Jesus
she's
Christ.
dead?
Breaking news.
No. Spoiler alert.
Wait for the news. Hey, it's happened once.
That's it.
It's coming back.
It is. Also, real quick, speaking of hot blondes like a rough with,
Oh, God.
Pamela Anderson was at the Get Mala. Met Gala. Jesus.
Get Mala.
Get Mala. I mean, those letters just get flipped. And she was there. She's in her 50s. She didn't wear makeup. And people are all, like, oh, my God, what happened to her, this and that. It's like, listen, celebrities are still real people. And for dudes, I will say this all the time, like, women wear makeup. Right? Even like the women you think aren't wearing a lot of makeup, they're still wearing makeup.
If they do it right.
Unless you're married to somebody, it's very rare you're going to see somebody without any makeup on. Like, good for her. I still think if Pamela Anderson got herself all put together and put on all that makeup and showed up, she would still look like she still looks like Pamela Anderson. Bottom line, I'm still in. Stop hating on Pamela Anderson, all right?
I will still punch that clock.
Yeah, but the show I was talking about, A&E, if you have your Xfinity cable, you can just talk into your little controller and say, Stadium Lockup.
Okay. Thank you, Tim. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room.
Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Fishermen in Yemen will be having both lamb and fish for dinner tonight. Meanwhile, a woman is pulled over with a raccoon in her car, high as a kite. Barra, Colorado opens car door looking for valuables and loose change. Being naked and hiding in your ex-girlfriend's shower with a knife. Yeah, it's pretty strange. And a Nebraska man somehow rolls his car over in an alley. And the pics are pretty impressive. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the head. Lines. Here's my cock.
All right, our top story. We're going to Ohio, where superheroes go to rot. Officers shared body cam footage of an arrest that they made, stopping a woman in her car and informing her that she had a warrant out. She complied with the arrest, but when officers got back to search her car, they found something unexpected inside. A raccoon sitting in the driver's seat. We covered this earlier today, holding onto a crack pipe. The officers giggled about the interesting sight, but ultimately needed to coax the pipe out of the critter's hand to submit it for evidence. After a short bartering session, they were finally able to relieve the little guy of his vices and search for the rest of the car, which turned up plenty more glass pipes and a whole lot of meth.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, he just grabbed another pipe and just started going down on that one, too. I just need my fix, man.
Come on, man.
Let me do what I'm doing. Leave me alone. In other news, creepy story out of South Carolina, another one that we covered earlier today. A man was arrested for breaking into his ex-girlfriend's home, but don't worry, he's got a good excuse. The story goes that the two had been arguing over text, and he wanted to soften the mood a little bit. And what better way to do that than to break into her detached garage apartment while she was not home, cover his face with a pair of her biker shorts, arm himself with a knife, and hide in the shower until she got home.
To answer your question, there is no better way to deal with it.
Absolutely. After she arrived, he came out of his hiding spot, taunted her with the blade, eventually shoving her against a wall and simulated slashing her throat with the knife, though it never made contact. She defended herself by striking the knife out of his hand, only to have him double down by grabbing her around the throat and proceeded to strangle her. The whole ordeal ended when she was able to remove the facial covering to discover who it was, at which point he yielded, saying that the whole thing was just a joke and that he just wanted to talk.
I'm funning you.
She didn't take it quite that way and ran to the family, her family, who actually lives in the house on the property, and called 911. The man was arrested and faces some serious charges.
Yeah. Jesus, man. It's joking.
Right. So when were you going to end the joke?
Yeah, exactly. You strangled me.
Right.
That's when I started thinking, oh, maybe this is not a prank.
To Colorado, where springtime brings different dangers. Someone shared their Ring camera footage to social media, which was eventually shared as well by the local news media, showing a break-in. The footage is trained on the homeowner's car sitting in the driveway when someone comes sauntering into the frame, a bear that was on the search for a snack. Without the slightest difficulty, the bear uses the door handle of the car to open up the rig and starts searching around for any snacks that might have been left in the car. They said that they didn't know the extent of the damage to the car, but local authorities issued a warning to the public that with spring comes bears out of hibernation on the search for food.
Yeah, good point.
Basically saying don't leave anything in your car that is any kind of snack food.
Anything.
Lock your garbage cans up in the garage.
But at least the bear used the door handle. Watch other bears, they just touch the window and it blows open.
Right.
And they still get in your car.
It takes nothing. But honestly, the ease that bear had, like, it looked like it knew exactly, like it had done it that day. Like, oh, hang on, I'm just going to jump in the car.
Okay, question. Did you hear before it opened the door?
No.
He even had the fob.
He had the fob. That would be kind of awesome. Hang on, man. I'm just going to go grab the snack out of here real fast. And I started thinking about that. I'm kind of glad that I live in an area to where I don't have to worry about bears walking out into my doggone car, because I leave stuff in my car all the time.
But isn't there always a trade-off? All right, so maybe there's car break-ins in the neighborhood versus a potential bear. But I feel like if someone's breaking into my car and I run outside, typically they run away. The bear, I'm not running outside.
That bear will run away if you run outside.
What if he's in the car?
Well, then he'll get out of the car and he'll bail out.
I don't know, man.
I'm not positive you don't live in an area where a bear could show up.
You think down there in Tacoma?
There's got to be bear sightings in Tacoma before.
Bears are everywhere.
I mean, we've had deer running around in the streets. We've had coyotes out there, but a bear, I wouldn't put it completely out of the realm of possibility.
No.
But bears.
I love that video a couple of years ago. The family in Pennsylvania doing a picnic thing and got food on the table and everything else. This bear just saunters up, puts his paws up on top, and it's like, here, dude, have a bologna sandwich.
Sits on down at the picnic table.
Basically, pretty much like, how you guys doing?
Thanks, bro. Pass me a beer, would you?
Right. Well, I mean, they know how to get into a car, open a door.
Yeah.
Right? Surprised they just don't take a nap in there and spend the night.
Being a bear's rough.
I'll get a
let
double
me tell you
seatbelt
what.
on here.
Just in case those stories left a bad taste in your mouth.
Thankfully, there's good news.
To Colorado for more animals that like storm drains. Authorities got the call when a kitten was found stuck inside of a local storm drain, and fire crews arrived on the scene. They uploaded the rescue onto their social media pages, showing themselves removing the cast iron cover to the drain and fishing the kitten out of the quote-unquote tight spot.
Did you see how cute that cat was?
That was a very cute little
Oh,
cat.
that cat killed me. I'd be like, I'm going to take his bad boy home. The guy, I mean,
You emailed them, didn't you? Like, send me the cat.
I just looked at that thing and went, man, I am a sucker for stuff like that. That cat looked just like perfect.
It's hard to be an ugly kitten.
Well, but you're in a storm drain. He's kind of...
You're not looking your best.
Yeah.
I admit that.
He had this look on his face like, God damn it.
Come here, little boy.
That's probably exactly what the cat was saying.
You are my man right there. I like you.
We'd have seen Miles out in front of that storm drain for like an hour.
You look
just sitting there
irritated.
like, come on, little buddy. Come here.
Like, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
Come on with me, man.
My bad.
They used the post as an opportunity to praise the sense of community within the neighborhood residents and emergency crews. Good times. Men's Room Sports, major comeback in the ninth inning last night for the Mariners as they dropped a 2-2 tie in the bottom of the eighth to all but secure the series win for the A's, only to have Cal Raleigh come up to the plate in the ninth with the bases stacked, knocking a line drive up the first baseline to bring two back home, ultimately finishing the game with a win against the Athletics 5-3. They wrap up that series with the rubber match earlier this afternoon, and they pulled ahead in the later innings once again to win it 6-5 and take their ninth consecutive series.
That is insane, man.
You guys still suck. You're going to lose it all in August. I'm going to keep on this hill until I'm wrong.
Hey, it's working so far. I say you stick with it.
No, it's not, Ted. It's failing miserably. They're on the road tomorrow as they come back to host the Toronto Blue Jays throughout the weekend. As far as what you're going to watch tonight, there is more baseball over on MLB Network, NBA playoffs on TNT and True TV, and NHL playoffs over on ESPN if you want to go and check those out. Playoff hockey is absolutely doing exactly
Watch the Blue Jays without a packed stadium for a change.
Yeah, no kidding.
Go get a ticket. That'll be easy.
Yeah, baby. As far as your weather, pay close attention here, folks, because this is going to be the forecast for the next couple of weeks. We're going to have partly cloudy skies, bringing things down to the mid-40s tonight. And tomorrow we got partly cloudy skies with highs in the low 60s tomorrow. That's it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawkazine.
We'll see you next time for the return of Ted's Meat and Potatoes. The head chef is back in the game known as Big Dummy.
Yes, indeed. It's all true. But in the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch. So until tomorrow, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man!
A Double Flush production.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Fly Condor Airlines non-stop to Frankfurt and connect effortlessly to most European destinations. Relax and start your vacation in comfort. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today and book your next adventure.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart for a healthier you. Smile Generation trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Bosch's innovative power tools make you feel like a Bosch. Like when you pile drive screws and bolts with the 2-in-1 impact driver, you'll feel like
Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh, yeah!
Or when you powerfully blast through concrete with the Bulldog rotary hammer, you'll feel
like I have the power!
And when you make buttery smooth cuts with the Glide Miter saw, you'll feel
Scoobity-bee-bop smooth, baby.
What he said. With expertly engineered power tools, the more you Bosch, the more you feel like a
Bosch.
You don't just live in your home. You live in your neighborhood as well. So when you're shopping for a home, you want to know as much about the area around it as possible. Luckily, Homes.com has got you covered. Each listing features a comprehensive neighborhood guide from local experts. Everything you'd ever want to know about a neighborhood, including the number of homes for sale, transportation, local amenities, cultural attractions, unique qualities, and even things like median lot size and a noise score. Homes.com. We've done your homework.